Ghana ho nsɛm ko an wo bisa na ntene sa ho ntene Oliver Baka forma wo egotena abɛfo no so na watimi aka kan nsɛm de egu committee nanim wasa ne ntino wo mo twi na se pieto anwea pradada so abepiem nyambo akyenada awo man Ghana mra sɛ wogya fie mu na de nam so nti a Oliver Baka forma wo de wahu na wo kyerɛ sɛ wo no o evidence ade betimi ade di perfect nkyerɛni na etimi aboa kyerɛ sɛ wo no per committee na o mate wo mo gyigya demudie no wo ma kyerɛ anye saade a ɛne asotwe bi obia no ye de bɛbɔ Oliver Baka forma wo na abra Bernard ahiafo wode ne nsɛm nyina to no kyerɛ sɛ Ghana fo nyina ntie no mtie ne ye saa committee na yɛate no wo bie ni wo akotre ba kora wagye ahye ne botomu anase mpo sempo adama kapre wagye ahye ne botomu sɛ anase mpo no yama ne nsuo kɔp ba kompo sɛ wɔnom a wo ya nagye anom ɛsɛ Ghana ho do ntie no matena se obi ho no motimi tra saa do hwiri num do nso nsia na wo motototo na no wo kyɛ sɛ Ghana ho do ntie no mo yɛ sade ɛnyɛ sɛ bi obi akwakwaje sika bi ɛde ahye ne botomu.
I don't know what it is in the country of ours that every vetting cycle, members of the appointment committee will be tagged with corruption. Our attention is drawn to the media statement by Oliver Baker Vomawo to the effect that, one, the majority members of the appointment committee have been demanding money before approving the nominees, and the chairman must submit himself to ORA. Let me place on record that I am ever ready to submit myself to ORA. The second aspect was to the effect that all the committee members are taking money from the nominees before vetting and approval. This morning, instead of starting vetting at least by 10 o'clock, we recall into a conclave to deliberate on this issue. We need to stop certain attitude. So therefore, I, Bernard Ahiafo, First Deputy Speaker of Ghana's Parliament, and the chairman of the vetting committee wants to place it on record that myself and the committee members do not demand money from any nominee before vetting and approval. I will therefore direct the clerk of the committee to invite Oliver Baker Vomawo to appear before the committee tomorrow at 10 before noon to provide evidence of Bernard Ahiafo, the chairman of the vetting committee, or any member of the vetting committee to back his claim that we demand money from the nominees before vetting and approval. Clerk of the committee, I so direct. When he failed, then we can invoke the powers of the committee under Article 103 and our own standing order 134. I so direct. Thank you for your attention.
7.3 Asaasepa
Aye titrani edi ma badwekwa ya tese wo montoto amanfo no abra wo benya position anasempo no dibre kese pa se wo mkoso man Ghana waso ya wodo no Bernard Ahiafo ene ode atudwa sese Oliver Baka Voma wono a wono wa pagya ne man ade ato ne kon ho no nyambo a kira da ebo no ndu na bapai wo metena adwamu se betimi abisa ne nsam a ene de emra kwan bia so a committee ne befa so ne atima atwe na se pieto anwa parada so no wo momodin afa so se de ba ya wo bia ntimi nkotena ba bia entimi nkogu committee no yate no ehu fie
107.3 Asaasepa
abusuya na sansen koye mu ba ya pe na Oliver Baka Voma wo wono so entempa wosan ko Facebook wono wo se hwe committee no maka mate saa na kabam kabia mamuo no eche wone de waye krado wo kɔboaboa no ho nyambo atena da evidence no wa boabo ni na no ya wode ba ene bi o recording ebi ye voice note ebi kura de eye pictures videos ni ade keka ho ye nyambo atena da appointment committee ni wo hye wo mu nondu pepepe nti on de o kyerɛ sɛ wo mato nsa friend de a wagye da kurumu a wo kɔhyia wo na afensan kan ya wodo wo obia no wone wo so atimi aka
107.3 Asaasepa
Busia ye gino man Ghana mna hyɛ fie mu hɔ no mo na ye sɛ no pa yi a asɛmwanwa bi siye nyini na ne sɛ na hyɛ no gyina mu ade hyɛ mo ensa wo mado agyimia mi kuro mu Frank anodom pre papa yi wo mo yɛ ntotoye na afei abra na soafo a yɛbɔ ne din sɛ wo metena dwam na afei ntumi tototo na no wo bɛhwɛ ban bɔ nsɛm so doctor Kofi ama ne boa ma papa yi tin konwa mu a yɛyɛ twima mentwe mente ase twɛn mebi sɛ wasɛm bi misa no yɛse wo mo so de ya na wo mo kɔgye ahome yɛ kakra ɛna enyi hu sɛ maame no anim fɛfɛɛfɛ ank watwi make a pons pepe bi atwi na no yɛse Frank anodom preso de ya wo kwa na maame ne tochie no sɛ he wo nipa bonie wotiri wo fitaa no sɛ nipa bɔne nsam nko a wahu anim hantwo onse anim atwa wo wuti committee so a ensem mone go na wudi na anodom preso maame na de unim wahi wo fere he ona sɛ hwɛ me ne ya tin CEO Edema Petroleum Commission. Ultimate many from Mefa, a hard castle no. Was when the mamma was singing, men now me born in his house. Whoa, another pray. Was soon the bonny dear who be there. And another preacher say, what the abe what the titi. Nini na so could you mind Ganamra so with your and you may ya, and not say speaker. What man, where dear, when you are dear uncle baby, when you want to see ye. Mamia was acting see you, Edema Petroleum Commission, MFA. Said any, Muni jet, ye and into a good sense and money, but you have a Facebook, mamma, not just personal. Then you move a pa, water turn, sir. Nini na so say another prayer, Galloway. Faso, was so good to go to Quanya Papa, who go to 2x4 canter, the Nibia, was so crown more tie. Now, Wayna, acting see you, Edema Petroleum Commission, Mammy, Mefay, what to be ma another prayer. Now, no one for another press, go to my gun, myself, your film, watch as your hair. And your moment, some of Mammy, ye, I hope you have to make me a chin as surprise, and say, be a brook committee, na yatianwa. Ya to a month for an ebusia won't come home. We have heard if one be. O bank account to said their committee no. One meranity and answer so ye. What shall I say? What shall spares kiki? Spares the request in your papa. Would you know him anymore? O Kabuso said their cherami. Me, my DMP bear a 12-15 years near. What you don't want to compare me? What you don't want to tell me? Nesaho. And into when you sadia, your position 3 days a pair. Now, obey yes, answer with their cherami. Another preacher who be here says Sabri. Myself, your favorite me, I saw it here. Sign your moment somewhere. Acting see what my Petroleum Commission, Mammy, MF Hard Castle. What a two, you ain't got here somewhere. Frank, I know don't pray. What a two, Ija.
Allegation was directed at your side, majority side, and then the chair was robbed in. Is it the case that you don't care about your reputation? But don't forget, this is an institution. Parliament has been impugned. I repeat, we don't even have a basis to sit here. You are told you are corrupt. You've been taking money from nominees before you sit, before you approve. And then, shamelessly, you still come and sit. Oh, yes. I'm speaking in context. You still come and sit.
Honorable member, please withdraw the word shamelessly and proceed.
Well, please withdraw. I said in a certain context, but if it's a case that is offensive, withdrawn. You have been accused. You are being discussed in the media as taking bribe. And you don't find it offensive. And you say that we should forgive. We won't get to the bottom of it. We should still come and sit here and behave as the ostrich. Nothing is happening, and we go ahead. We in the minority side will not support you to do this. We won't do this. We won't afflict.
If you doubt it, listen to me when I'm done. The video is all over social media. Because I felt...
Over Facebook, YouTube, Afe, TikTok, Noa, Asaasepa 107.3 video Noa. What am I for Frank? Another pray. One Petroleum Commission, Mammy, no, I at least you, one would dear Shemua. Mammy cannot drink ya no, and no, young for Frank, another bracket number a few more. Watch the speaker, someone what the unfunny Nancy for said by ya. Send him Guasia Portono or Babisia. Why are you mean Sematico? Et me a bemen in Bema to Brussier. Et me a good hoof you won't penny for any mono. Yentimoma dear, Nafe, young China so Cassia. Now, what can you hear? Pe and a governs, Kwame Abuja. One only at the Kumina Journey. What's the general say? Oh, Frank, yeah, Maraku, me pacha for Chaya, why? For China, mamma, no, can I say, young friend, wo, your honey who said Waba, and yes, any betrassi, young friend, into obey, ye new crass or obey, do what him, and as upon who become some of us so crab. Governs Kwame Abuja, Jerome, name which I said, one moment, na Adubro, Entimra, Essence, dear mamma, and one dear. Wakaseti Asaasepa, yentie semua governs Kwame Abuja wakaka ho.
My colleague related to me when I entered the chamber. I did not witness what happened, but I've now watched parts of the videos that is available on the internet. Indeed, it wasn't pleasant, especially when our colleagues were only performing their duties as members of parliament. The incident is very regrettable, but I took consolation in the fact that my colleague confirmed that the individual involved actually approached and apologized profusely. Mr. Speaker, this individual is not one of the repeat offenders who denigrate Parliament repeatedly. So, Mr. Speaker, in brief, I was only going to say that I know my colleague is not a difficult person. And since the individual involved has apologized, I was just going to appeal to my colleague to let this matter rest. I'm sure the individual involved would have learned her lessons by now that when you come to Parliament on the invitation of Parliament. This is not a thoroughfare. You come here on the authority of Mr. Speaker. And when you come here, you must act in ways that actually protect the image of Parliament. So, Mr. Speaker, once again, my colleague has every right to pursue the path he wants to pursue. But I would once again appeal to him, since he has accepted the apology of the individual involved. Let the matter rest here, and then we make sure that we work together. So once again, Honorable Anodompre, the Minority Chief Whip, I want to take the opportunity to appeal to you to let the matter rest, and then we'll see what we can do together. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Gavins, Kwame Agoja, Ninsem in order to Jen and Wacheno, and Deputy Majority Ship, Comfort, Kujo Doyo, Mami, was original as for your bad time. In your moment, some Petroleum Commission. One more penny pa mami, what then a deal my grandma of the few years or so. Essence, Esrasu Pompon Sedia, Wahunu, and yet Ashashi can you do pon or your pet. The Amamiki came a near moment somewhere, and no question between our sources, and now say Jabanet and way about time. Wabedia Jinemu, now for dinner, what Jabon Bosso, no one Mamina Quaconya Sapa, Celebaya, Adjubrebet me a near Quine Pazua. Petroleum Commission, my bet me a faso, Abaya Kuna, Ababepa. When we young for Frank, I don't pressure no. What's to me? I and said yet here.
The amazing part is a woman and a man. Mr. Speaker, as a leader of the women in this caucus, I will plead with our chief whip that he should leave it for me. I'm going to call the lady in question and advise her on how to handle issues. He's not a member of parliament, but she's a woman. I'm a woman, a leader of the women caucus. He should just, it's a man and a woman issue. Mr. Speaker, the chief whip, the woman has apologized already there. So leave the rest for me as leader of the women caucus, Mr. Speaker, so that I will advise her on how to handle issues when he's in our premises in Parliament. Mr. Speaker, I'm just pleading with the chief with that we should just leave this case so that as a women caucus we invite her and then advise her appropriately. Mr. Speaker, thank you for the opportunity.
Deputy Majority Ship, Edima and this Amanyo Kuno, my Ghana Massive the Fiemu. Mammy Comfort, Kujo Doyo, I know this I send you to Jar War Pacho, Edina, Mamina name for the Chapacasiapa, Ediama or young for Frank and a drumpre. Then what you know the sense of Penny Dredia, Nenzuno Asa, when we young for Aban, Sumana Kingsford Bagwin, Chamihine, oh my God, Massive the Few watch, let's say, what a tear for Nina. Na san someone say and crepa the enemy man 1 year Debbie 1 year question say your my Ghana hanimo and a branch bi one was as I'm training coca and sempoto edigu mrasebja phone ho efie nam to ono ye twe na se piotwa nwa pada so obe patchew na said ye tie no wahu say kwa amerikisi asomofo ayere wo mu no wahu ayafo wo mu mfumpa ani hwita gross akwa yenim enti abasa de wono de wo ma wo mu hwie be nkopim se da ye wo de yanimu ano General Bosu de Tasu Ediasa, one of the Behishum, Nadia Tiabia, what Timatonsa, Edia Frem Mameno, na Mameno, Nedim Como, said a beya, Chapa be a hobian, Wobet Media Quacoma, one of young for Frank and Odompre.
I think your leaders have spoken, and we've also heard the backbenchers. It's a matter, I believe, in the circumstances in which we are, they fall directly under my duties as the Speaker of Parliament. And so I've heard the complaints, I've listened to the comments of members. I will proceed to invite the lady concerned and to personally go into the matter and take the appropriate action. As at now, I don't have before me a lot of determining facts And so I have to inquire into it myself. Because we don't have the Privileges and Immunities Committee in place. And definitely, if you read your standing orders, you will see that that is one of the areas that you have reserved for the Speaker of Parliament. And so I will take up this matter myself and I will report back to the House because I will grant opportunity to the complainant and the suspect, and I will go into the matter, take the appropriate action, and report back to the House. And definitely, I'll grant opportunity to the complainant in the House to make comments about my determination. And I think this will assist in solving the matter. But let me state here once more, without Parliament, there is no democracy. Without respect for Parliament and parliamentarians, there is no democracy. We are the protected.
When I am Rasul Jafiamuchi, in the Right Honorable Aban, Sumana Kinsot Bagwin, what is answering that to your watchers, one idea as seminal, what a net yaso. Yen in Tomoma Quine now went to Queen, we said about dear Fuguaya. Mammy, Ebo Madia, Yaminibun, Samatico, Etimiko, yes, and your Mohun what else you able to me as Siano?
107.3 Asaasepa no.
Say, Jemo, my gun, I'm not a few hundred one, a honor Right Honorable Aban. Sumana Kinsot Bagwin, so as it, I didn't say was similar to your phone be one more. Dear Bakua, etai, soon so one muscle pan, and it's a sagalam say no. And you're from a good year and one farmer acquires word to the woman is set. Yeah, no, you must have your phone be for home. Near dear, what just one idea what to be, no woman will measure set. Where ye be anwa, would you listen? Must you need be to from a good year and farmer acquires one, but what they are. Now must be can as we trade. Said I be honest with me about my dear, I did not to near to form. Not an associate to from now for who is and some now would run a bopano. And a cray, and I send upon a busimuka. What is answering now to Jana Alban, so manakins or by when just one of the white cradle. Says I didn't obey coming, oh my gunner for I call honor. What would you know to be two I say from my gunner and can't come as if you have one what they be out on. What would you so 101 near the entire bomb say one, where Galam say, yes, all concession with her. I didn't know. I could see a cook say, call my gunner, and my woman says, oh, yeah, no, you in your chain. What made him walk would be. Obey notice as we more here, so back on the conscious. And a friend is excavators near this site, a boy more water. Alban, so my kins were Bible just one dear. And it acquires some assembly of the Tosso and connive parliament will be a situation whom free from a good year and farmer acquires said by ya. Dream Bonino, you bet me a year through Wamoso.
Those of you who are called upon to serve in any other office or profit, you must get the permission, a certificate from the Speaker before you can take that position. It's in the Constitution. It's in the Constitution. It's not me saying it. And you must convince the committee. That committee is chaired by the second deputy speaker, that there will be no conflict of interest and that you will not sacrifice your service in this house to that position you are going to occupy. It's in the Constitution. We will insist that those provisions are enforced. Honorable members, the fifth one is resetting the governance and management of our state-owned enterprises to enhance efficiency and productivity of valuable public assets and ensure accountable use of the scarce public resources. I think that is one of the key committees that we have restructured in this House. The fifth one is resetting our constitutional system to ensure that executive, administrative, and judicial power vested in various public institutions and offices are appropriately checked and balanced.
Right Honorable Alban, Sumana Kinsot Bag, Masuja Fiamuchi, and on the side 7 to your watchers, one of the Sagalam say no. Once so my gun, Masuja Fiamu to beyond when I to be 2 Valam say no. One money else when you're to me crata at every parliament. Na enkonko ba se dimbone ebesusun so mo da chibi
107.3 Asaasepa no.
Na swafo a ye boni din se wonko he ban bon sem Minister of Defense wono eye doctor wo mane boama papa yi kwatra nkonwa mu enne wie yi a na don kunim ena ye sha se totona no enne wɔn de wadere saa ansa ne yɛbɛma papa yi kwan kora ne yɛtumi bisa ne nsɛm no yɛde dɔnhwere baako mmienu mmiɛnsa na papa yi yɛma ne nkasaeɛ ne yɛtwe yɛde kɔ soro ne yɛde aba fam na adɔnko pɛpɛɛpɛ na ɛhyɛ aseɛ ɛne ɛsɛ papa wada ama wedeɛ ɛntɛmɛntɛm kakra na ɛba ntɛm nti yɛnhyɛ ase ne yɛntototoa no ɛna neɛ yɛhyɛ ase no nununu dɔtɔ ma ne boa ma ebisa nsɛ wada ama woba yi deɛ bɛn paa na wobɛyɛ afa obi wɔ hɔ nom a wohu ne height paa ne ne tenten a asa akwatua nanso bɛhwɛ no na ɔhyɛ sogya atadeɛ obi wɔ hɔ no wɔgyina hɔ sɛ Goliath na wɔfa ase no nanso ɔbɛyɛ wɔyɛ onya akonya dra wɔpa ne body no ketiketi ne koko ɛpagya ɛnso wɔbɛtwerɛ fam sa tra sogya adwuma no wɔnyɛ mu kwan da nanso bɛhu sɛ obi wɔ hɔ no a ne body no fia asɛ medie no bi na wɔhyɛ sogya atadeɛ wɔworɔto hɔ no asa amane a yɛahorɔ ho ayi nkasa afiri mu wɔkyɛ sɛ wɔnyinaa no yɛ na mpɛmpi no protocol no yɛka ho asɛm ɛne ɛkɔfa ba ɛnti wobayi deɛ bɛmpa na ɔbɛyɛ afa ho ani nti saa protocol no yɛbɛtwa so wɔkyɛ sɛ wɔno deɛ Ministry of Defense no sɛbio Bible ne yɛkɔbɔ ɛnyɛ dadabiifoɔ ɛyɛ fɛ ne sɛn adwoso ma wɔn kɔdi dwuma wei ne yɛ wɔn ɔman ma adwene so mɔku wɔn ho de ama ɔman no ɛne nti no woyɛ bia no a woba no hwɛ hu ne sɛ wobɛsom ɔman Ghana na watumi ɛde wo kra wo nipadua ato hɔ no mo atumi abɔ Ghana ho ban paa ne nkwankɔyɛ sɛ dressing akɛseɛ sogya ni bɛhu ne sɛ wato no uniform no hyɛm na ayi hyɛ n'aso ɛfɛ ne sɛn ayi earpiece obi wɔ akora na airpod na ɛhyɛ n'aso na wɔkita iPhone na WhatsApp wɔn sɛ wɔbɛ WhatsApp a sogya ni o yɛ kun bɛsie no wɔ WhatsApp ɛde airpod ahyɛ ne so a wɔretie nnwom ɛna wɔkyɛ sɛ saa deɛ ne nyinaa no wɔbɛtwa so ɔman Ghana ha no ma saa protocol nsɛm no atumi akɔ na wieyɛ na Dr. Edward ma ne boa ma san tutu gya kyerɛ sɛ wɔne deɛ obiara no wɔsafata no wɔbɛma kwan sɛ wɔbɛtumi anya sogya adwuma no mu kwan sɛ ɛbɛyɛ a ɔman Ghana yɛ banbɔ no so bɛtumi atu mpɔ akɔ no mu kɛseɛ paa na wɔno yɛ safata sɛ yɛbɛtumi ama wɔn kwan wɔbɛso ɔman Ghana banbɔ mu nsɛm no saafo no nyinaa nso bɛtumi adi dwuma no.
From where I sat about 17 years ago, if you circumvent the procedures, the rules of engagement, and you get enlisted or recruited, you are likely to suffer. And there have been some dire consequences. Some recruits have died on day one. I remember at 37 Military Hospital, there was even someone who was in training. Not that the person was flat-footed, but it was almost there. Severally, the person had to come on admission. If you have a heart condition and the systems are circumvented and you are enlisted or recruited, you are just jeopardizing your life. And so, looking at it purely from the medical point of view, I'll be the first person to advise you, if you genuinely don't qualify, not to attempt it. Let's face it, I recall 1997, when I visited, the person is still a serving officer, so I don't need to mention the name. When I visited the person at the academy, one of the first things I saw was abandon all hopes of normal life, all ye enters here. What that means, that at the beginning of the training, you are being asked to abandon all hopes of normal life when you enter the military academy. And it is not easy. If I may add, some people go all the way to the point of being tempted, and they consider and drink water that has been used to soak clothes, because you are thirsty. You are tested to the limits. That is the reality. And so I will not, and have the assurance that I will not circumvent the procedures, Mr. Chairman.
When a Dr. Edward Omane Buama, the Anochino Sanchez, one of the Ghana Armed Forces, or my Ghana, Jumekua, one more a boy who bank a pano, and come as I did back home Cassiano, a year, baby, Obudo Mutibato, and the Omudi. I buy your chairman, your mother with the Nansono, and so, Wobby, Wababwa, now, Fay, baby, Omudo Mutibato, and then crack a sack as over Siama Womono, what was what when your baby at Omutiato.
Mr. Chairman, if you ask soldiers what their felt need is, number one, they will mention accommodation. Number two, they will mention accommodation. Number three, they will mention accommodation. It doesn't mean they don't have other needs. but accommodation is very critical. In fact, the deficit is beyond 15,000. If I'm not mistaken, it's about 17,000. Efforts have been made by successive governments to ensure that this deficit is bridged. Let me assure you, several options will be considered. The most important thing is to ensure that accommodation is provided. Even if we would have to look at the PPPs that are being done, even if we would have to draw on Government of Ghana budget, even if we would have to draw on some funds that can be generated from enhancing our peace support operations.
Na abra Dr. Edward Mane Boa matena konwa mu adon hwere por ensia 6 hours. You're trying to so. Na yenunu no ye bisa ne se wadama dwumadi obedin eso pa ni te 6 hours ne kwanke so a. Eho be yesa nke betimi akọ ochena yenunu kakraka ho no. Wo bai menim se woni mpanyifo wodo atibedi nkomo. Ehunu nyuma pa wodo a MPP aban eba ye no. Wo ba ya aboa asojafo ne abanbofo. Wo betimi abobi a kire yen o se nge. Ene boboma ye number 1 eye dien.
We've been able to sustain no terrorist attack within the territory of Ghana, which is good for our country. By the time we were leaving office,
Ebusia na ye hwese ye nsa betimi aka ne no sade tie no Dr. Edward Mane Boa ma wabobo nsem bebre so na yenkotie biem na afa yemra sesi
the territory of Ghana, which is good for our country. By the time we were leaving office, there had not been any such attack. And as we speak, there has also not been any such attack. Great for our country. Again, in terms of embarking on the modernization of the army, the Ghana Armed Forces, you've seen increased recruitment. Of course, right here around this table, challenges like regional balance and the need to ensure equity and all those things have also been raised. And gender mainstreaming. That is also something that I would say was shared. Then the FOBs, that is the forward operating bases that are being constructed. Unfortunately, implementation has not matched the intention behind it, and that is something that I will pursue critically if I'm given the nod. Then, in terms of modernization efforts, were being made to procure some naval vessel, but intention is one thing, being able to operationalize it. And I believe because of the terrible economic situation, so it became difficult for the government to be able to procure it.
107.3 Asaasepa no.
Dr. Edward Mane Boa ma swafo ene yetoto na no. Ya wakohwe aban bonsam so my Ghana ha ni sem bi en order to edwa no.
107.3 Asaasepa no.
Suya kwantintin bia no bowie aboboa no. Aha na kase bobo no firima ntam di nsani na mu no. Yede beba ne nkokwa bom nya bitie kasafide so da ha ya Asaasepa ha ne so akiri pomiensa. Ideal 96.7 so nya kase bi eti ho no mo na kase mu denti no. Ya boni ni ha kan kura de www.asaasepa.com ye ho no. Owati benya bia kinkan brofo kasem afei Facebook YouTube ye gina ho no mo YouTube ni Asaasepa 107.3 ana afei eye TikTok no so ya Asaasepa uduru ho no mo a bomoden na comment awodo no fa pin ho no maye bropemu no ye bayi pin ya afei akinkan nyina so ede amasamufo panyin na no oye ankra wona sa kasem ma me na de obo anchi brand se producer na Kwasi Boachi wona nhira kwabi wɔn mo piepia no wɔn ade gu mam saa Emily Ohima Dokua wɔn so time akyire kɛseɛ paa akokoraba nyaako abro no ma no mitin menam di kase hu nam no ho yi me sɔre so de a na Atumpan dwumadie ɛna ɛto a so firi sabre ya ɛnkɔpem sɛ no kono bɛbɔ no de ɛyɛ Ghana nkɔmɔ Ghana nsɛm kan yɛ bono yini ba afɔ wa de bonus ɛbɛtra nkonnwa mu na afɔ de Atumpan dwumadie nso aba bɛso so me ma mo aniti a yɛgye me so wɔ kudonto makrao
Mofia Moke Radio 107.3.
Asaasepa.
Nkejeme Obajo Twin.
Follow who no road.
Onye Igbeson 247. Onye
Asaasepa.
Enyumanyum. Minyamumpo.
107.3. Asaasepa no.
Osum achehan. Emewiase atedin. Shien wa Asaasepa 107.3 nyamfa kanea ne nkyerɛw bride Atumpan ɛsomo wei ɛyɛ amayɔsɛm a ɛnoma pii ɛwom ɛnsɛm ɛbɔ pɛtɛ bibiri ɛwɔ mamu ɛne ɛde somo ɛdwoda kɔsi fieda bra no nsia bɔ kɔpem sɛ nɔnkron bɛbɔ wɔ Asaasepa 107.3 FM midin ɛde bono hene baafo wa Atumpan
Chenia kasa Atumpan Chenia kasa Atumpan Chenia kasa Atumpan Chenia kasa Atumpan
should be the one representing the electoral system in Ghana. All committees. Now, no, you better hear. You go have crowds at Roba. You can't come.
Sonika said it was a near hung parliament. Some people say it was a hung parliament.
77-1073 057-777-1073 Facebook Live with my Johnny SCR. Asaasepa 107.3 like page na share o comment fatu abeje brana fe yakin kanye dia ma. Once again, welcome on board. It is Tuesday, January 28, 2025, the year of our Lord. Nkakra what do you be? Right, my memo Joe, memo akwaba mra Asaasepa 107.3. Emra so say yede campaign dwumadie esomo na nwumre. Enkomo ho. Main agenda ni say yebedi MPP nkomo. Na MPP etimi aba power 2028. Yebe reflect back. Na fe yahwe 2024 December 7 the buyer lost by. But answer no Mesre MFA Hardcastle Womwa de kakra Mane nya wa ba ku konyini One man who say, I want to believe, sir, nipa yama power, ya di 2 mawa, 2 minutes so bow. Because we nyan start here juma kra. Oba emefa wotemen ka. Wo kosom Ghana, unyan kwa juma kra. You are just certain. Enti sa hantan ne kasantwi, kasafi bi no mo ho a. Mian kana bontin sa. Wo kunu. And I'm not expecting say ukunu and our boyfriend. Ubedi na tem silly e wo nipa mu. Ya pata ba bia won te ase. Adan na ope. Parliament ho emra ya adwuma ho. Entity ya adwuma e wo mayi mra so bedwafie. And constitution, you know, Article 122 of the 1992 Constitution, as stated clear. So we are near more somewhere and from the Quanswa. Or more who can say your true Peter, your Prada, so now so you go and massy.
Atumpan.
A year now, Pacho.
Cheniakasa.
One Kunipan who fear ye, what they are not on Pratama ye. Now, met that honorable Herna Druswasi. Papa no nim nyansa. Herna Drusu, na dwumudo. Oh, na sida bi de hey. Amefa. Sabi enkrase sam. Esa wo kire se wo ye machio. Sabi nyesa wo ba wa no wadi atam no afa ho adi akọ. Da bi. And not because we NDC nintino, ya beta wachi ni akabia ma wo.
Ne ka na da hodo.
Ko na ko pacho.
Cheniakasa.
Na ene de de cha no. Ma me mefa na de be de acha wo. Na ebi sanse bi ewo a. Ye be kofie na afia kire wase ye.
Atumpan.
Politics, politics in yatem de wo. Enya insult.
Cheniakasa.
But minim upesa manfo te won ka se o ba bi e friend me fa so a wo de ka. Now the amia de bia me cancer me bo de me fa sa no watch fans. But apart from that, me hu de wo ye no de na opesa wa achieve.
Wo kan wie no so won te ase de ay won headache.
Yam fan to yen ko party asemu. Me ba cho wo MPP party ba tie me.
Atumpan.
Kro no a atu MPP no ye nyam nwie ye. Ye nyanduru ba bia enteto na bia ye utterances no it should be measured. Kwan ya ye fa so a ye huru ye no ma bonten no as ye hwe ye. Party ni lusu wi a blame game. Ana we na ya ana we na ma ye lusu ye no ye nya botre kakra. There is a committee. Professor Quay's committee. This is not the first time where party be acquired elections are lusu. 2009 MPP elusu ye. But MPP adia bi mane ye fe e wo Ghana. Omo de army ensa eye adwuma e wo Ghana. Army ensa no omo de ye adwuma no ma MPP recapture power. Sadia na ese ye de anihwe. Nti yen go back to 2009. Brown people lose ye, and then on ye yom to me back, and I'm bounce back, but to me, a friend is in some.
Atumpan.
Already can reflect. Reflection. Say, you better not say, near reflecting, ya come back a kakra. Near be saying, who say, a day in the bar, ya, party need to me lose you, yes, sir. Sir, Bismarck performance, you know, election 2024, December 7, a day in the bar.
Atumpan.
I don't know, you see at the committee. Our committee, no, koshe, the bar ya MPP, elusu ye. Alright, tosum you know, reform. Sir, who here, sir, I say reforming MPP ya. Ntempanoa, ya reforming MPP. MPP saying naso.
Cheniakasa.
Alright, tosum ye, sir, our modi ya juma recapture
Atumpan.
You reform we are. Kwan bɛn na 2028. MPP betumi agye to me every NDC because NDC ntimi nya hwee. That is the gospel truth. NDC omu ntimi nya hwee. San twonu eba ye no me hu ni say eye MPP fo no na antoto om no ma yi na NDC fa ne fa la asenwa.
Ne ka na da hodo.
Because MPP fo so call out no om kwoto aba no om nko out an kwoto aba no. Eno man keten a na nka hu hia se de abufuo baaye no e de abufuo baaye. Entu hwa 2020 votes are NDC nyaye now be compared to 2024 a omanya hutie. Enso John Mahama etimi we ne ye.
Atumpan.
Tibisa who said die in the baaye, that is a reflection. Die in the baaye party ni lusu ye. Enya matter of we a man leading yan and we all ye say one wo tru nsa de a kire obi no probably constituency a wo ho no ye bisa wo so ye bebo odin so ka hu bi na party no lusu ye.
Atumpan.
One idea is a political party MPP and say sa delegate system no yen free ho. When en here Professor Kwe committee bia en here e ya brofo sam yen delegate system no free ho.
Ne ka na da hodo.
Mu opi mu sane ebe ya wo bi a wo ye card bearing member of MPP with good standings one so betime nya ho kwan na fe wotimi ato aba no wa kire se me pe MP we me pe MP we me pe asumasi national executives ye hia ABCD
ne ka na da hodo
because ye won crofo a omo ye police station agents but police station hokra no won to ho what baby what is a sika chicha ba no dimirika no abeji ni sika trom okoduo no ko
Jenia kasa.
enti base no ese sabi aye strong no base no aye wicked a wiki na adiana aye pyramid sa asianu aye mra soro ne de etia o abeji agu
Atumpan.
base no aye police station agents no omo na ese party no mo mani ku omo ho ye wobu ho a wonte bro no so kra as your man post na ye nyan krofo mbe hwepe san krofo we in line na adwuma eso mo ye no o maye mre bi atwa MPP nya wa attendance book MPP no mo attendance book
Atumpan.
san book no police station for committee na obi a tro ndin register time o de ba ya bibia kama enti yanim omo police station ho executive say we wo ba we wo ma by say obi a mo obi a chem so wo party num
Jenia kasa.
obi a pa no ye enti sa agent no a ebas ye koyi obi obe lidi apre MP dibre obi obe di mampanyini obe lidi MPP apre mampanyini dibre omo ye national executives constituency executives now ko fan krofo a omo ntebro no so ana so omo nya adwuma so omo nkoto aba obi oto nche no obeto aba
Adwin kase so da ya adwin.
enti wo sa agent no a wo mpatam wo a wo se ena nipa no lidi ya na amu ayen ena national executives na amu ayen ena suma sikra no na wo fra na wo mfa wo so no sabi executives no mo base no mutumi hwepe ho mutumi ya normal na anyeye
Ya ka bi ka
true chief executive officers and they ma hikura say your board is we see you are and your school wako krache I'm telling you who want people at ye 2028 sansem hunu na nkoso
ya ka bi ka
true your board is see you are and your school wako ni ntiama see you Maleba sentare yamani see you aye nipa dwuma bi a waye wo party num ana ma party number power ana wonya ba bi atena ade sa bo kraman ukoto so tepata so a woni ntaban obi na dina si so
Atumpan.
but ukotena office wo wie na wonya AC ni wie na if you think say party fo no wonkaye omo wonwo omo wontie hwe a de de beba na de aba no
Ne ka na da hodo.
party ni lusu wie a because what did the 1 man 4 years 8 years umagu abrochire cars wanya bi wasu na awie brano esi nipa wodi ne moja to ho ma MPP team fifire to aba call campaign call radio so senior college wom ya frɛ wɔ no odum phone see you obi wɔ frɛ wɔ enye sika na opɛ wo wɔte baabi kɛkɛ yanom ɔmo frɛ de bia ɔbɛsa amanfo so nimbo no hene entu de hwɛ me bɛfrɛ bo no hene ɔbɛfa wo de hwɛ enti sɛ nipa ne frɛ wa na wamfa disrespect wo gu nipa nanim ase enti eto da bi ɔmo nwinwi no nkrofo yɛ frɛ mo a yɛ mpanyifo yɛ frɛ mo kra ɔmo mfa yɛ frɛ mo ɔmo mfi yɛ and that attitude edi abufuo hye nipa mu sɛ yɛ frɛ wo na wo mfa ne yɛ to aba wie mini certificate wo na wo bie yɛ bɛma oppose a ɛne yɛ kɔ na kɔgye oppose no ne yɛhwɛ
me need time to waste
and now party no lusu yɛ no one na yɛ chief executive officer what as office
me need time to waste
national executives ahantan yenyin free emu ya na me pesa me compare contrast ya won krofo a omabe national executives are in MPP are excellent work by all standard santam no na party ni jira na so otiam oburuman kuma nipa pie ba bonten because party ni doma kuma so enti bisa 17 nom sadan na ba ya se de party na ye mre enti ameka cho se fine committee ni betuma yo madwuma but when your committee asem common knowledge this is an open secret sa empanyifo no no ma ye mre ya wo maburu wo MPP mu a I'm not talking about vigilantism tiemi ye pamfama no nsi bone minim say ya no mu tiemi o se say da bi ba ne wo mabunu e wo MPP mu a no ma sori ye gina ma MPP as a political party
Genia kasa
wo from one na jo awia anopa on be sori aba
Genia kasa
na ka who born talk say NDC maburu timi sori collation center ye no ma kogu ho o mu kogu ho wi a obi an ka o masam ne edi hu sha manfom na party power da so te wo ne yesu ne adwane ya bedi nkomo we ya part 1 time na we me Honorable John Dakon ewo ha so ami mraso bedwane ye ne bedi nkomo but ma me activity lines na botwe ne bi ne nkosisi ya na ene ni nkomo da ochena ye beto aso koma to yem Uba udin na for opportunity to temper no for so room on 057-777-1073. Hello, good evening.
Okay, the medical money at my power. Maybe no one I can say the MPP for Amayan Cambo Malay and Yaba, the money, you must be a penny here now, no fancy. Now, young man and Captain, make us join a party. As soon as you although now they are Medom, you still have a good success.
Mr. Beda, say hello, good evening. You're setting coffee. We didn't have your tea free.
But me free, Shaman.
About you need across my radio set and coffee. Mudin, Botunianco.
Me the solo more. But we continue there. 50. And I was saying, can I say to come to because 2016, and you win over 60 some 160 something. And I'll be an Asaba. One some way young son do way and Saturn was saying, yes, I was a good committee and Francisca Biamo. I was saying, young Casayantin or Biantinase, and executive in our crown. I was saying, young service on some. Did I say?
Miss Beda, say hello, good evening.
Yeah, evening, bro.
A pastor did not be out here, Caffrey.
Botunianco. Boy, I feel I'm the canoe, and no one what canoe. And young people for the money fra. Me and make us a young people 100%. Me no koto ba me and the farm no le fe ko mi krom. Is kin with the koto ba no be na man ska. And this yeah you baby cause na nya ya won kwa fe ya ka tren pedifo no. Na munya mo honti ase. Ye sabi ya mpese about in the next 4 years no. E be ye kwasa se bia biem ti se. Ya ka tren pedifo ni pra mo matin. Bro ni se omoni afra. Can you then what for?
Edi do mo nimu no. Omo ni wati. National no. Mami pensi.
Medasi, hello, good evening.
Good evening. Me di Bottin, me ka fi weja.
Bottin yanko.
The person me can say MPP for yakoy say. Politics ndi be NDC for bi di enim. Ya ma NDC for ada yen. Ama yan ye gu ye Delta Force ene ye boys no. Ena omo afa chire wa ena omo kipi omo die no. Na abato so ye no omo die no atimi akobo mo vote. From vote mo ba. Let's say tell the SRD no. The politics no enye ku say the ye yo. E say me ni ye din. Na say my boys say 28 your boys ya be tia boy me tia power no. Me da say.
Miss Medasi, hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Radio starting call from Mudin Babi ati en kafri.
Mr. Chairman.
No boni yanko.
South delegate asemono na ha ye ma ye lusu election. Just me my delegate for so many years. You go far form, the card, membership card, select form. They can hold it for office. In the community, me here, you know. What would Jimmy Pepper, delegate, you know. Now, when you hear me, police station, you got one more deal. Me no one selected your pet and nobody big deny. Do you way out there on your party now? About Obama.
Medasi, hello, good evening. About your dinner, Babi ati en kafri.
Monene kukuduru for Yamasinju account.
Moro maminti of your cropon botchino no.
Yo, a cropon for you at Chiachio. Chiamia may and peace, I will be able to Yamin Shamano. What in the war bonnet out, what bonnet perfect because delegate systems need system need a new crowd account part to Toma and Papa because a cropon well know me 1996, a strong MPP member. At the time I bet through a police station. I unicra when you becomes in Ukraine farm. Oka, you want to fight each other. One start in a question to be now a failure the problem, but to much to my effect. Why? Yamisha.
Right, but as young Chabia because Swami, Rashabani Atras, and in the bidding come. Hello, good evening.
Good evening,
May Patrol din Babi ati en kafri.
Isaac. That's what you say.
But you free body as in Yanko.
I someone waka, and one working in a working in a 5 year it will say a year executive. You be because you are on the 10 times. And then one work on whom sound to my dear.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
About your din Babi ati en kafri.
I will let you market taxi.
Aja, but you Yanko.
Oh, brain. Yeah, phone. At the new year, I mean, come and cut you, and then idea brain. Because if you have a brain, you are young, the brain, you have a brain, you are young, and the year too fast. I'm up for my day. I know to me, and tap at Naki. I'm not getting perpetrated. Well, I acquire this body, I empty of what happened. 107.3. We see somebody in power, somebody empty before, like I said, I'm class in a year back home. Hey, but I'm not coming up to me. I'm a winner by far. I can tell you 2 years. That's free. So, your party back. What black? I will fight in the corner. Why your party? Now, who do how could I see the new baby? What your book? That's what one. Well, that is our focus and work here. But you can make a mistake. You know what I said? Yes, you should be. But the phone class no come.
But as my last recallers needing come lawyer John Dako at Nasi Swami, Mrasubijani, no, you bedding come and come over neighbor coffee kakra. Your cast antimantamwa is the basket of the MPP, and Swami Untimi in Sinchang. You bedding come every hole. Nafia has some other national issues. Hello, good evening.
Good evening, Brian.
About your dinner be at Cafe.
Yeah, Capria phobia near Cantamanto.
But you know,
so Brian, you come on more about the edge of my power this one, my Ghana. I'm in fact, I think Ajia Safia Mohammed, my organizer MPP. Just the Kodia from Consoliciano and after your mark. Delegate after Mamma candidate of credit. You come on if you say that way. And as you beam, we are to send you to a buy a 3 year. If you say most about because I must say, that I may make a say, my Casache. But you to move in, Mr. Capia, to Material. ne baby on any power who be a discussing if in fact and ya kuma ma party pa go bi o ka se menye dem ko aba nti ne de etini ebiem e mani ya kakra de se general resi anasi bi twama enu e bit na boye enu ne be bo ama amampo ti ato aba oni nyame nya
mesubera se me patcho ma me nyina so say you know about trase ache na fe me konkoma na jo appropriate time be activity lines no afi no abeke ho a e Asaasepa 107.3 Atumpan dwumadi ni medin ede bono hene bafo wa lawyer John Dakon atena say so ame mrahye bedwani no and God being so good when in hamo what na wura wo man mrahye bedwafi ma me nko na me mana fishi apa na me mana trim kwa na afi yeni fie nkomo kakra yenko so ame fie ni fie yeni won nkomo kakra na yenhwe some other national issues. Honorable Majo the fee pa ntimi nka good evening gra
Majo so minia
na bibia bokode e
de adum ne mo paebo
e de who was watch the so obeye adwuma no obesom Ghana obesom MPP. God bless you. God bless you. Na no my cause you
kakra it's been very interesting, let's say 3 weeks since 7th January I called Parliament and MEP and of course it's been very interesting and him say I have 4-year journey I finish shasi na radio dom name on Pabunti no hopefully no and then my ebeko kama
what if you
if you there because you almost all the time
okay
yes maybe they came in a month but the previous weekend I mean if you did make up and me just say me feel crab who cry
quickly Swami constituency is saying what my Thanksgiving
yes me Thanksgiving the nya dia marry because me nya no once ye to abanu ya na me shase ne abusiafo ehia mako a lot of churches mako mosque akodas mako some of the SDA churches Sunday churches mako in fact the last weekend I make quite a crime me share party for nyina me share consensus executives me share council of elders and patrons many nyina ya di efie nkomo kama and so far consensus no emu adwo kama people are just preparing to start work so they be a bit me at their party no about back to power and so I'm constituency there in terms of party no more any activities after election so far I can't say so good
right minimum sir empabo akese pa no wafa yes ma so tumfo akonya no prekope meka se manhia mpaboa kese ena sese wodo nan abehiem so honorable say chairman sabonsu meka so sumche pa from the second parliament, third parliament, 4th, 5th, 7th, 8th. And so now where is it? Abani Pabuano Nisha to saying.
Well, I've been reminded so many times me share in Pabua Kesi. But indeed me bar parliament and so there are places I may well be who say yes, so I'm MP. I think that for me, I'm proud of that because it means that Nipana may be dinner or Bojuma or Yadi or some name mine have some party. I heard a bra or bar parliament from 97 because see a bra or the 28 years of his life and I made the man assassination or the some or my Ghana and the some party. Some yes, I'm a constituency. A baby, I make a say constituency in the Adanas. And we just say, mine on the parliament in Adanas media. A fair number na or say, Monsieur a parliament, the stand of this about constitution, how the mere minimum country, or say, Monsieur standing orders no made a year. And so far, you buy and so, who say, and Papa Cassia and Machete, and so a radiadum on Piebo, and a Jumadin Cacrancy, and say, and Pabuano, and meet me a shade in the man and Timo Kama.
Inshallah, Nyame Tiasi, be ye. Ma me fan ko back kakra and me opportunity nya MPB amene di san komo 2024 December 7 elections no net was saying those say udin kunim they now when votes are now when said to me what happened.
Well, I mean, votes are measured in me, in fact, where your voter population, 100,000, 350 votes. At least I was expecting about 70,000, which is about 70%. That is if you're going to have, maybe say, even 90% turnout. But Ekoba said turnout in some constituency was 67. Even though it was higher than the national and regional average, 67% turnout higher than regional average, it was still low. And it was as a result of the general voter apathy we experienced from our side, you know, for Atumpan. But as I always say, I feel that party, you know, I set up a committee to go and, you know, really find out the causes. But I can say, no crema, you say some of the problems that you face as a partner was as a result of the world economic crisis. And I've said this since COVID a ban be our coalition be and ulusu heavily.
Yeah,
it's a fact. If you look at even the UK, the Conservative Party numbers are no more Labour for every election. In fact, around the world, and maybe a bit me and research around the world, apart from Nigeria, are incumbent parties not retaining power. Incumbent party be a lose heavily. Now, any part you will said it drew about to Obia a Shena Sitnam, a Shena Botum, and in a UK, a America, a year all these European countries, African countries, any partner no more. And now the impact of COVID and the war in Ukraine, and we are saying a day pa anything nipa na no more pay do no more pay ruling government assembly at the Somon Kotuaba. To Manko Tuaba, and nam say opposition party in the Omono, they are ginger up to Modi Omuko Akotuaba. Now, Omudi ye Munko for power. So, voter apathy amongst ruling governments across the world is really high. And Nubi and Etrian, of course, I admit, we had our own internal problems in the country. But I know, dear, say party, you know, I call a bontine, I shall see our internal factors. But me free send people for any quan say your boy who be brave party no mui party no agent and also party no our more the structures of our party work to bring the party back to power. My any who say party na tete apansa. Yes, we have a problem. We may have to have some reforms, but we are not alone in this heavy loss. It's across the world. And we just have to sit back and look at our internal issues. In reports from the Professor Michael Quay-led committee, then we can really discuss, look at the recommendations, and ensure say recommendation and no any of the Bayajuma. And we just say recommendation at the back, not say. Me crana baby any me de crana and I'm say me do party no na party in here minute
so when do
me do na the recommendation here yes sir we'll come back to power again in 2028 yes
right do na activity lines so no mo din komo do na afro unam krom na ne do na din komo a yo mo kan say enkebe ya delegate system omunyin through okra no mo miem. And I say, Yema all card bearing members of the party with good standings, or Montuaba, send a baby to me, Abwa, and a day, sir, before kitten no Abba. Meaning, said delegacy as soon as to Abama, Ujina ya, would you have a drew baby at Wordry? One of my dreams said delegate system, no, as a free.
Well, I mean, you see, American.
Your personal take.
Yes, I'm coming to it. We just have to have a very dispassionate discussion about this.
107.3.
And I'm and it's too, you lose the election just about a month and a half. I don't think, sir, we've done enough to really come to the conclusion, sir, a delegate system, no, and decide number. So it's very easy for us to attribute the problems or the reason for our loss to 1, 2, or 3 reasons. Okay, it may well be one of the reasons, but there are other things. I may just say, media, in my view, your trainer committee is reporting by look, delegate system no, there were no advantages, there were no disadvantages. If we say we really need to understand, say if we are going to scrap it, we need to be sure, say we are not just responding to. It shouldn't be a knee-jerk reaction. You know, when we say NDC, when we say they are not a good reference for us in terms of democracy, but the whole idea is card-bearing members in Tribune, and they reverted. Okay, nti Omudiana, Omuye no Mufi say na Omujaho, no na ya feel yes and date equation. Or see a near yet near analysis near ye sure. A big crana, let me say this. It's a reason for our loss. It be a now recommendation, Bebano, Umubel listed. Say this is number 1, this is number 2, this is number 3. Say report neighbor. Let me find say delegate system number 1. TN scrapping that. Then we will understand. So let's scrap it. But let's say in the order, no, number 20. Okay.
Let me say,
so we really need to look at a dear may lose election because look, no, BTB, matter of fact, my constituency, my campaign, my TB, at least make I say personally, nipa more approaching me can reach chairman. Constituency of about 100,000 voters. Nipa frame me complaining about delegate system, about 10. Okay. Is that representative enough?
No.
But it be also not another constituency, maybe about half. And it's, you know, me at this point, we feel say it would be very good if we allow the committee to work because, and this is how na yedi committee no conclusion. I break we share jumanase. We share jumanase. And so any attention they are conclusive waiting a mile lose. It's an attention any na a committee no. In Tiama committee no emre committee o mati o mashase Asia your constituency executive ne Ghana for ne bi enomudi nkomo yentwen ne nyina mom se de meka se meye baha ewie me ji se nyame adum ti mesa abefia ewie recommendation aba na yese delegate system number 1 problem yentwema I will lend my support to that.
But what personally, what observe Bibia party in the year Juma, say party in person will recapture 2028 elections, party in castle of the year Juma, ever party.
Well, I mean, at this point, me feel say, like I said, it's still part of the reasons here. I would say, sir, committee in the report number. The public pray, I don't want to be part of the people who are just out there giving reasons here, lose here, giving more or less solutions here. When we say personal, power. Look, at least as a member of parliament, we are 88. The party is on our shoulders in parliament. Media, I always advise my colleagues that we need to be very careful when we speak as leaders of the party. I don't want to proffer reasons now. We'll get the appropriate time, meet the appropriate people, and channel our concerns to them. I don't think talking on radio is what will bring the problem, will solve the problem. Talking to the appropriate people, the right people, the decision makers, in my view, is a better option to getting solutions. I have my own views, but I don't think that I want to share that on radio. Meet our appropriate people, and then I can share that with them.
Right. Me sir, when this was doing Cassia Pan, say, Obeko my imrash with the fee, na Wakosemra, na wasum Ghana, Nibia Kaswa before, Nampuntu at me, Akoso. Sorry for using this word. Now, what be of an MP? When this was doing now the call or my imrash with the fee, no, Asasa, a general Asasa, and I may be general.
Well, I don't think you were wrong to say some about orphan MP, so you were sorry about this. Okay. Indeed, I've become an orphan MP because I don't have my president.
Now, Katrina, my
new president of Jubilee House. That's the Nakame and say, Dr. Baumia, I will Jubilee House. The idea is, O Comra Shebedre Fia, O Kobuamia Shemra, and I said, okay, be a Omanfo. And no, the answer sign, dear, I had Jenny, and they say, the GD says, my buying a war Jubilee House, and I'm a president of Jubilee House. Na me PBB a come constituency, my name say Menyan in terminal, and no, my name say a problem. Kakra, I dear about Kuma, me ba parliament, na my name of Bishop for become a swami constituency for the home como a swami interchange project. Na me no mudi cause the trouble ma NPP na me just say NPP na ba baby. Right now NPP am power one of my headaches. Me say enche Yenya Rose Minister, I'll file my questions to him. Na me a buy na dwena fa swami consistency. They say we share swami interchange contractors no enche me should be raise certificate in the bar. Go certificate there. Abane abanda than tree bia. They say we raise new certificate as abane and tell every moment you name a few. Idea have maybe if you say apart from if I say a friend of swami interchange, I vote the whole country. In fact, even all the way to Burkina and Mali, because Sakasa a best new tram was swami, and you need to tennis swam. Dodona could end up in the north and even outside the country. And see, idea hame, but the vision remains the same. The vision is to ensure say a DB I mean for here our bemuno whether MPP is in power or not. The vision remains the same. Say mayor on Casa Mafu na a DB pesa about the vision remains the same. That is to hold the executive accountable. Say a buying beer, say me ba parliament and can people in a ban crown or once I'm in parliament, my dream say me and say, Yama executive no almost 20 may salvation still remains the same. Media may buy a woman say me MPP need it, as me buy some be some me mine.
Okay,
and it is mine now be some dear and for one party or abamu. And it's the vision remains the same. We hold the executive accountable. We make sure say a buying you more persuading kama. And of course, my boy ama me swami constituency Atumpan. So my constituency big in so many ways. We share a juma provided Emma Enipa at Asante Mantam Kumasi impone outside the region and adequate magazine. Minya Huasem Kanda. I really need help to build that industry. The fact that my party near
Swami magazine.
Yes, Swami magazine. My party near and she said, so the vision is still there, strong, burning, and when you say, Nyame Adumanche, party Beba Pawama, easier to translate the vision into reality. But all the same, so long as we remain in parliament, I dream of saying, irrespective of whether my party is in government or not.
quickly, Mammy saying that sentiment, my bomb, my imras with the Finafi, Yashe, some other national issues. We are lawyer idea. Better the Mera woman near the home Como Kakra. But my minion Santa region, baby, make us a MPP a hoarding a walker sipa. The din common everywhere, as a Ghana Fubinum, a tin common as ye. Ebi say MPP a near Juma in a Santa region. Inti, no one before no MP. Amfa metuabano. Ebi kan ya say honorable Samono say mention on one platform. Ebisa and say one mention project baako a MPP aye in Asante region. Yes ya no so no wantimi anyia no. Me ba cho wona wo free Asante mantamu abankran. Sa na tie say aban na nye mpuntunuma say ebe tache omo in Asante region.
Okay, me that say. When you say Aben you have a limited resources. We see car Bejiji out the Bay Juman. I was at the city near bottomless, so to say. And now Aben Bian so about power and near region by Quintin Obama or mining all the system regions. And Punto say a core baby, I'll say a pay. And you know, it will not be fair, say, a cassette, BMPP are buying, be around fat gun, the sick, for instance, the year some co, Uncle Ashanti region, Tina, be any permit to about. Over voter turnout now, it was across the country, then Ashanti region. The fact that there was a low voter turnout amongst the NPP was across the country. Of course, would have wished, let's say that all the interchanges and are be easy traffic in Kebeye. Okay? But a buy here quite was Shanti under another than Kwakufuado. Why are quite papa. Why your hospitals papa. In fact, me cry me swam me constituency. Ye be a we are of fat president, a baby no, no hospital now when you make guma. And it is a fact, a chair at Ruchi Hospital.
Swamidiano.
And this program, Agenda 111.
Okay.
You know, a buy hospital, a baby, quite across the length and breadth of the region. Maybe constituency still like here quite. And so a buy interchange, apart from interchange, you know, we a lot of the inner roads. Oko Bantima, Oko Share, so Oko for you. It's a medical Kumasimpa. Now, you are just Oko outside Kumasin, so a buy ya quite baby. Ofa just so a diacopie. Jabbing a pine ya quite maybe brave. But said a mecan, and I'm set a bicycle intimate cassette nina quiet a juma or region by community. Of course, people complain, say a be a shanty region, but people buy a juma. The dualization of Accra Kumasi Road are, in fact, I call a name for my chimota, I call the 10 lane, ye be a little keep coast, ye be a one crime. Ye be a ya quine, it was stream, ye ya quine, a war, a voter region, ye ya quine, a war baby. And it's media, me, Santini, me, Kumasini, and Kame Pese, and Kibe, name a baby, a may. There's not metia, say, a band is a can, intimate for Nina may a Jumawa sentiment. Why, and yes, Santi region, a bay airport. Airports, I, or yen, a firm, dadano, near farm, near you. If we send your papa. Abane disika kese na abehim ame awie airport ewo Asante mem sa airport no enya de ketua enya sika ketua aboa ama ese udu Asante mantema we the plane now we see from air fekeke. That is part of development.
The international airport.
The international airport, that is part of development. Enti adia mejiri se ebi anipa ntiase about na nipa to do on the say the mechanic. Me the say the World Economic outpost ne city na second
global crisis no
and no na hadwen but enye se bia MPP anya adwuma e wa Asantema in fact adwuma de Leonardo Dankwa Akufo-Addo ebi nemom enka ne epe bebre ne nam se sika ban benyane ntimfani nyina meye adwuma wa Asantema no se de be ye across the length and breadth of the country ntino obi beka se ya anya adwuma wa Asantema but governance no enye easy Eden pay media obi or the president that you have to make a decision. Imagine say Uska person can be our DC hospital. At the same time, a quite be why critical outside. Now for what we say, hey, you can see be a BC say one per hospital is a nipa be a nipa in Abu. You have to make a choice to build a road or even schools. Now, was a name be a hospital. A decision that every president be when you are confronted, you make the decision to the best of your ability. If you have because I didn't because one renovate hospital dada. So the president will have to make a decision, say renovating an old hospital and maybe building a new one closer to the communities. The president will have to make that choice. Into any area, people can always disagree, and sometimes things are one year. But maybe them say na Akufo-Addo adwuma or yes car or the boy look in the midst of the financial constraint. Na yetua nurses ka yetua nursing trainees ka yetua teachers ka yetua teacher trainees ka na during COVID doctors and nurses omunya extra pay in the midst of all the incentives. So he had to spend money to do all these things. Look, he felt say a quite was here for so spend the sika or no agency yam from one month planning to make school. Because they say on 1% he says maybe from these are decisions you make as a president. You have to live with it. But once president no make his decision or Jesus and I at the panel, you go to bed knowing that you made the right decision. Ghana for Amiatia said from the votes said they were not too happy. And we just have to go back to the drawing board. Amia Dom Nas prepared a new manifesto near Babaka who know which of the things that be a previous administration here, you pay continue, you pay jai, let me a boama a man Atumpan.
Introduction of free senior high school, we want to say MPP because some of us we thought it could be a game changer.
Yeah.
But young Hunisa.
Well, a boy, media, a boy, if you say the idea, no, a year free SHS, and let's get this straight, Minia. The idea now down called the free SHS, no, I say Emma NPP. Okay, we say Emwa and Quada, Umu Enisika, na Umuntiminko school. The statistics no show say a broad bar power no. Any part need me a school, about 800,000 by the time of free now increase it by 100-fold, 100%. The nipa near admit to me 1.6 million. Party no, idea, and you know a benefit you a Ghana for and a benefit. I think the question should be say introduction of phrases a boa Ghana and just a boa MPP. Uba Bema, your aim is to govern. And yes, over boa political party. Name them through your governance, no
policies, no
or party may benefit. But me, they say that now do I dream power the best idea. They will still be there. Look, posterity will judge him right. Will be very kind to him. Say, we will be a prioritizing education, even in the face of fierce resistance from his own political party. In fact, the namely say area finance minister, even 2017, Kenneth Rata at the time. No, engineers or say, yeah, free SHS. And I had the conviction of a say idea our promises or be a bois and mabunu, why the boom. And the truth is that independent babies who sweat to me and ya quite aqua school. Now, the beautiful thing is that when you go secondary school, it opens other opportunities. So once you finish secondary school, what is me and try so immediately, that should make me a start to be a room called Pole no call teacher train obunze onamua obe teacher it be teacher 10 years now obe read law and that's what okay before but any amount for who is how important it is me drew a brother maybe call secondary school my brother penny and at me school my papa now we need my mommy now we need be so imagine say now my brother never I can remember go school because it was very easy for me to end up as Swami magazine. Oh yeah,
Ghana radio.
You see, the dynamic here is because my brother be enya na me to and say man boy me and me to me a secondary school. Tenka ama akanebia kamia. So you no munya kwan no de obi omunomu anyi na na do aye. Na wonim say we hwe about na a course na ma me for no say me call campaign na no me din koma. They were happy so me be boa MPP feel sika no so mu ko omu betua bosi so mu kobo sa bed nja na afiri so ba nkra na omu di omu nkotua school fees o di onam say ade a hye no akọ school oni me kwan ma me fa so enye sika de man ko school omu na appreciate but na do anye so de boa MPP so de boa Ghana for and I mean say no de very successful na nyakopon so be sure.
Right, me ba trofe no obeke ho a ye ne lawyer John Dako so am mrasibedwani ene di nkomo Atumpan dwumadi so Asaasepa 107.3 Facebook live me ba tro ubetimi adjoin ensesi Asaasepa 107.3 Asase 99.7 Watermali in the northern region, Asase 103 Cape Coast in the central region, Asase 98.5 Ewo Kumasi in the Ashanti region, Edamase Yankee FM Ewo Sampa German North. Quickly, ma'am, from Roma in Brasil 3 weeks. Oh, my in Brasil experience in it to say, feelings in it to say.
Well, I mean, it's okay. I do, and in fact, and I'm a program into now. Say, Miss Friend, point.
Yeah, that's it.
Point. Yes, as you go to me, point 9, 10. Let me say, hey, but I think that the last sittings may be about 6 or 7 now. Upon let me feel near young point is a good experience, and you see, and the speaker I can say this without Parliament there is no democracy. Into Parliament is a very important part of our governance. In fact, Brebia itu abango Parliament any to go because executive will exercise the powers through the military regime. The court system they still keep it. Because don't be here say court and be running. Until a year the people's representation now what Parliament and year to go now for military government on one air shemra. Until Parliament is a very important part of our democracy to see some and look, I am honored. I'm so honored to be a part of this 276 member. Nipa do Ghana over 30 million. Now you say court na cosum out of the 30 million 276 you say cosum be ni munyam shepa meda swami for ase ewo ho nipa o swami etoaba I register to aba over 100,000 na ye me kofida ko kam so me no hwan you can do ba no
so magazine
not na say abepie mo ha eye mahoho ho na ebia meka se mesom se de me manfo so ma me no se me mesom na mesom de ni monyam hye akoma me peso afo.
Right, quickly young kwamre mu kakra national issues where the facha me Operation Recover All Youths.
Yes.
Every say unconstitutional.
Yes.
So Zamuna Makai Mrano.
Yes.
Never who can say, and I said, Mampanu who can say, was setting up that committee with a task force.
Okay.
No committee, no one with a task force to say, immediately, near Ramanfufi, Yapamanfoso, Aquajijomo, and Noma, in the name of Webia. As a lawyer, no one.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. Sir, at the end of the day, minority Dom Kuma Neopalme Nimsen and the Pantia press conference. I think about 2 weeks ago, church mama man for say look, we are president, said the you know, era John Dramani Mahama, Ghana for money to me. Na 2 minute demand, the Maraquas and a demand. And it is persuaded be also in the Maraquas. A constitution and the Maya 12 by 7 December. See him a president. A constitution crona and the May 7 January. Say, and yes, I died 2 minutes share or mine answer. The constitution are my guidelines. In fact, a constitution no said the city now president or no own to many ministers say women do Bayajuma unless and until the parliament adjatum. Sani a constitution is here. A constitution na yajitum na nunti na nanado odi 8 years no going to me any beam. A constitution kroya mo ena Ira Mahama after 2028 on to me any president beam. And it's everything we do in this country, especially from the executive, I will say a number of council. It's me that your constitution and I'm here the Presidential Transition Act. Me who say to me be anywhere a ma president you know. So we say president elect, not president properly so called. You are president elect. To me be anywhere we are constitution a man to me say Uncle say Bedjaku say encourage a man for him na to the extent say it may ko obi fie anadwo it may ko obi asase so near kobubo no wo it may ko obi osini dan yes enkrata no enyo dia you don't have the right to do that. Me de bia me ka say senka what is ku no after he was sworn in, I would have had a different say altogether. Because that means say, a president and no to me or they set up committee. But the question really is, say, say, would it be would the committee ba na a behavior same? What happened to state institutions now?
Yoko, Shrag, CIDs,
police,
Office of the Special Prosecutor.
Even National Investigation Bureau. Woman na wo enipa dodo ewo experience a umbetim de akwa afa na nyina mu se ye de ehwehwe ade bonni bi free sesim ene yi wobeti yese ora omu okumase wobeti yese ora omu watamal na
wobeti yese ora
omu na the question is why sika no mu de koko omu se anyu obi ya sika enti wo mu
okuja tonum
okuja so ya no yi ni botom sika no de akotwa plane ticket lawyer yi a o kan ye fe ne se Martin Pebu me mini pay or so no powers a young quatamale no yi ni botom sika no de akotwa plane ticket no akubi akoda hotel 3 days Martin Pebu
ye koto bi car because chairman what you see koto ni car from mechanic shop.
Yes,
that means a year to no iska
enti why is sika na dey side. You see I say ye ja omu na omu eye ade a emwa oman omu need to me bia so mu yesa so media said the year press conference weeks ago no ejina Asaasepa so ekase sadi na to me in fact ebra yura Dominic Ayini eba parliament ebusa no say to me bay and a star sadi na chi o say to me bi ani ho na do ka to aso na interest in say na emu manya illegal am say ade to me bi anta chi dey say went me ka say illegal and then he was quoting the constitution say obi abetimi ahwe say krono koso obehwe na wa prevent no. It's completely different from the Umuyan. So, you take committee, say, no, I'm to me. President Mahama, at the time he set up that committee, he was the president elect. Into 2 million Ben and no war more be. You cannot give what you don't have. No need to me be. It made me a set up committee. Okay, almost say Ghana for your Kenya say you fight corruption. It is a made me a committee saying Raman for fee and Jomukas. And I make us say, or mine ye chichiro, no political party be agenda near chichiro maya, yademra, and chichiro mine. Now, it is very important here when they say executive, no, I would a lot of power. And in tia debia be restraining the exercise of governmental power beyond or say because when the executive becomes too powerful, it becomes switched around the car. It is the individual, it is the people, the citizenry who suffer. And you know, I did see a piano executive power so no or see anti ade a me yet executive power so no e bi ne mra ya sha totototo and na me sha say me ka say President Mahama won't me ka say Ghana fo nyina to abama no and it will no be kwa ministers no mo be adwuma abron for mo parliament. These are the restraints put on the exercise of governmental power. And in a free BB separation of powers. Executive will to me, legislature will to me, judiciary will to me. Now, what happens? They say, you work together, but you try to restrain each other. The purpose is to ensure, say, no one arm of government will become so tyrannical to the extent that our liberties will suffer. The purpose of constitutionalism is to protect the liberties of the individual. Anything say, Papa no any to me, and you say this to me, man. You cannot give what you don't have. He didn't have power to set up a committee. It's our committee, so only power be over the baby.
And you catch them people caucus for the same moment you invite one on.
Yes, there was no need. Obi aso ntimi nyo hwe since wo free so mu tumi a o court no mon kwaji court order na me so obi babo prumu a memie oba ofi a pamono or throw phone so a cut the court. Do not cooperate with them.
But some of the force invade you feel as well.
Oh, you can challenge them. You see, I didn't know so much the force about until the force, but you see, anything that Enya or the force, but also the force about said in Tokana Baba, it be a no be a plan. So don't allow them. Will be the force about fear go to court. They don't have any legal authority to come to her. And I said, will be above fear, and that's what the force about are trespassers. They are trespassers.
It will be a crowd to the
Don't allow anybody to come into your house. Why? The police above fear there. Because a man was showing identity. And I before about fear.
But when I send a police for what wasn't a police for me, you know.
Police for no to me, Beno. It's police for no question, and I said,
some question.
Or for so also more so money to me. It no matter police. I didn't think any Mumfa didn't mess the idea no me. So it tells you, so one say, woman is to me. Now, kind of for Ara who said, Nipa Pino. Umufi say yes, yeah, fighting corruption. Yes, I didn't know one person be cooperating. We say, when you're dear, I didn't know one person be cooperating. I'm saying, and ne a doing and two feet say, obey me at the Baba also no. And I won't say, it's executive, as I said, authority, or say restraining. Because the executive is so powerful. It didn't quite say, man of quite now what the individual liberties, a diagro. Me idea. Me say, me idea. And into who be me fee abehwe ade a me ma kwan sa amamra abra woni to me and then because it's a police and as a state constitutionally sanctioned bodies in the person mobile metias here na ukofo kuje to abla kwan ne Martin Pebu ene wo mo meka so mo wura me fie me ma kwan woni to me bia so be me fie se wo pese wo free say my boni a call report me ma police use the state agencies the mo emra say state institutions, they cooperate with them, but don't cooperate with them. We think it's an illegal, unconstitutional body set up to just harass government officials.
Right, and now what touch you on powers are the executive say a yabro sododo as a lawyer, amendment of the constitution only say a bebwain and as areas being amended and areas been amended in the constitution.
That's a very big question, but you see, we say that the constitution is a living being. Constitution, it's not just a paper. Yamrapon is a living being. It grows, it changes with time, and by all means, I would say, party be or what yes, as we grow as a nation, as things change in this country. I mean, I don't see how in this day and age, president and vice president, I would say, yes, we're in speaker to act as president. It is not, for me, it doesn't make sense because Majidi said the president and the vice president, when they travel out of the country, they still act as president and vice president of the republic. And he didn't know see a swear in a new person as a president as if say when they are out there, they are not acting in their official capacities as president.
So, Mampany, Nana be the actually only say, whom he say, must speak
at all. Because women, your man, just said they are not acting as president. And with technology, may be from wherever they are, they can do anything. In fact, a signature, and they had the electronic signature in 1992 when we were preparing this constitution. We didn't take into consideration the fact that a time will come. In fact, there is teleport, but I mean, we are not there yet. By the time will come, a big crana, a bit me, I video call, I instruct a time will come, a bit me, I send the email, and within seconds, I do baby also, a time will come, you have electronic signature. They didn't anticipate all of that. So those ones must change. I think one part of the constitution I made a major say, I would say we may want to change the fact that Ghanaians holding dual citizenship shouldn't hold certain positions. I think it's about time we change that, because Ghana for Ghana for and yeah, the acquisition of another citizenship and the society. In most cases, people do that for financial reasons, or could pay BBD, or queer Nabia, or queer abridging cratai, where you be intimate and no queer. I don't think that should automatically disqualify somebody. So these are there are a lot. In fact, presidential powers as it stands now, if we say not too excessive, but because we are president, it's a big deal. So you have to have a lot of powers to exercise. Maybe we can look at some of the appointments with the constitutional bodies. Now, I say any two parties, and because the assumption is that the president will appoint you there, then we can. But it's not always like that. In some places, we appointed no crown or background crown or better. And we can look at all of that. Now, say, set up some seemingly independent body. Now, say, Amomo, I abua with appointment. That will help. Another thing I made me feel say, the election of MMDCs. But I believe, say, anyone say a partisan. We will elect them, but not partisan. Okay, said the assembly members, they are elected, but it's not on partisan basis. Said the any part a war. Yes, will be a bit me a contest to be. And Koba say, never so a case any partisan, we will say, Ukrainian people, Ukraine anymore. And here, my delegate, and as here, my candidate. Say you have to become a candidate before they vote for you. Say yes, say parliamentary candidate. It was also say municipal assembly candidate. A two parties and sometimes a day or how political parties no crown. And who now say be a many years said or say yeah the question be NPP and NDC. But the non-partisan, not say, not say when you individual, you be held accountable, not the government, and that's not a political party. It's my friend says, I'm a municipal MC, no, you need to MPP near us, we NDC near to a ban near you, if you say, you tea no, Cassa, a friend of Monday morning, you NMC near to a man. It's 4 years, and I say, whatever years says, man, when you or no, any holding accountable. And now, a person so and I'm saying Pacono, he is not beholden to a political party. No, obey me, I make it unpopular decision, but good one. Because when you say sometimes a bar, dear friend, by ye, and I say decongestion exercise, right? Political parties, no, it drew why a paper think sitting in the bed decongested. And so you are afraid of the electoral repercussion 20 million. But Nipa or no your political party be or no any decongestion na a unpopular but when you say babua no no where come affects your political parties because when MPP and also NDC, by idea, these things, in my view, are very critical. It's me, a man, a bit tumpo.
Right, as a lawyer, recently, Mampai John Draman Mahama, Asha appointees, and he said, will be and declare assets. I said, Nipano started here, Juma, as no declare assets, and I say, as we declare an asset, as no office was okay.
The asset declaration, I said, we declare our assets by the time before you take office, and we are before and after. But I think, sir, maybe we should cut them some slack. So I feel no matter. Because I appointed a fin margin instrument of office, and I feel no money in offices. The purpose.
But important, and I say, yeah, can
no, it's important. You see, the purpose of asset declaration, and the intention is so very good. Say, obeje power no, we say now damn okay, we are no odamiensa, okay, na edaho. We na say odan insia, and I say ebi a akodu nwotwe a adwuma be na we ultimate to da okoto da nwotwe wo my friend say cantonment. It will be a fair question to ask. A year is supposed to prevent appointees from misusing public funds. The question is whether it's effective, because let me say, apart from politicians, you can't private individuals, you can't private individual to fear me and so come to me. You near Jebo and Seman, or all the bakers, you near Jebo and Seman. Politician, I could talk a car about could be at the best as a politician. And so, what the politician may do, and they say, it be an answer declaration also if you want, baby, you know, if you want, if you need no, say, well, we are rousing you through a private person, be any didn't cry that so, not a private person. So, a private person, all born some man to be a politician, be as he can, or the so we really need to find a better way of assessing our politicians and be and yet tempted to, as it were, steal from the state.
But we found court vetting committee, so minimum say what na so paying. So far so good. Committee net say.
No, I mean I think appointment committee, one of the committees, our parliament, there were a lot of committees. Now, appointment committee, what it does is to vet these people. Our president, our appoint to or she say, so far, aye, Ghana for Ubia Air Share Appointment Committee, they will give their verdict. But I mean, if he said so far, we obviously not at the optimum level, say maybe 90%, but at least we'll grade at 70%. Now I'm saying that because if he said the rules, and it's the way it's been applied, and ma in your quite questions in a year. We will questions, so question back when I bet me will be on to me follow up. A hard dream price. I've been on it, me chairman of the appointment committee, a lot of back and forth, and I felt that he was protesting some of the nominees. Go question be Busana or as one money answer. I barely pay be a lawyer penny, and I said, why MP for 50, 16 years, 20 years, or nim and or no bet me answer the question was really a member answer. So that is where the problem is. But in totality, we just say, idea, we said the necessary questions. But you see, where we are as a nation, or share NPP, do parliament, and appointment committee, the original 11 members, they are 4 pet. NPP before.
Yes, my friend. Oh, my good friend. Where the madam for no, where the minion no. Yes,
well, I mean, media. I can say me. You can go back and check.
Madam, check my friend.
My friend. In fact, even when they came to the floor of Parliament, my friend. People have their own relationships with them, which is fine. It's not supposed to be antagonistic. You just have to ask relevant questions. And just say, I have vetting to any partner, but I say, be a bit in a tip. Who is a question when never say, it be ya no, come. Me just say, Union Mumuti people for, and I'm saying, Uncle 12 by Nipa 11 or 4 penny, and 4 no, or more so no. We going to mean with questions in every crowd or my bread. It did do maybe I say I find you with questions so much. It be a question can move between I just saw the command. No, as ranking member on the unlimited number of questions, And no, how can create woman. Media, me say going forward, no, or see members of the committee and even friends of the committee. Look, unlimited time. Obi and Rubit may interview, and that's why I've vetting any pebia 1 week. But it will come to a time. Nipa or Mubefa or minor a dear Nimu. We have finance minister, AG, natural resource ministers. US, it's me to be 3-4 days. And the year to be 6 hours. I know move for say questions in the door. So, medium say. Yabwama inya more questions from members and even friends of the committee. Babwa, I'm yet me a thorough job. Say the Bay Ghana for be who nipa omo ebedu menu omo su enu omo ban omo ikra.
Right, quickly, your petition, Mampanyin John Dramani Mahama said, EC chair, Chen Mensa, and 3 deputies. Wompamo Mumfriho. Walk us through a denam ranica.
Okay, so on say electoral commission chairperson in the bedroom kuno. I say court of appeal judges. Omo dibiano ya de toto court of appeal judges. And inti ohwe emerema ufad obia or omamubi including the president he beat me free. Ujumedia Woody, beat me you are beat me impeach you as a president and a vice president. You beat me you if you are the Speaker of Parliament, we Chief Justice that you can be removed. And so much the same way, we Court of Appeal judge, and that's a we EC official. You beat me you. Timbrano, but you see, constitution and constitutional law is very beautiful. What did I make us say? The purpose of the law is to restrain the exercise of the executive and governmental powers for the protection of the individual. And the Yamakwaya Faswa ye electoral commission official and we share I think Article 146 or so Kwaya Faswa ye judges if you under Article 146 a church all right and under Article 146 but say a justice of a superior court or chairman of regional tribunal shall not be removed from office except for a stated misbehavior or incompetence or on grounds of inability and you will be free justice of the superior court also we state the misbehavior and I say incompetent.
All Article 71 office holders and
so every office be no how ni remove SCT.
Okay.
But like I said, electoral commission for no omono DNA because you must say court of appeal judges and omo remove no so no it is said the court of appeal judge. Now very interesting. So President Minister can say where you it will be that petition. Now, petitioner, the 146.3, I say, if the president receives a petition for the removal of these people, he shall refer the petition to the Chief Justice, who shall determine whether there is a prima facie case. And I did a president in Zakan, or my Chief Justice. The Chief Justice will look at it. No, is there even prima facie case? Because a prima facie case, or here they now on the face of it, no, also interrogating and also because on the face of it, I don't think say he has a but we know that's where we end. That's why they can't do anything. They can't go any further. But if the Chief Justice is every day petition, no human na ono na your constitution it say to me na man o enye obi a wo Ghana ono Chief Justice pena your constitution it say to me na man ya fa ma president ya fa ma speaker of parliament ya fa ma obi a. Now where the Chief Justice decided there's a prima facie case, he shall set up a committee consisting of 3 justices of the Superior Court, all right, or both, appointed by Judicial Council and 2 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor lawyers, nor members of Parliament. So once the Chief Justice decides that, okay, there's a prima facie case, or better set up a committee, all right, now the 3 Superior Court judges are near Council of State, no, so she will appoint them on the advice of the council. No, about no, the Nipa bear, I think it's about 2 or 3 people. Now, woman, no, equity in seminar. Equity in seminar, I say, you listen to it in camera. I say, yeah, man, in my bedroom. No, equity. Into equity in seminar in area. A whole enna under 146.5. I said the committee shall, upon under this act, shall investigate the complaint and make recommendation to the Chief Justice, who will forward it to the President. And again, me find a committee in what say. Umu recommendation amo de ebebano, and they say yenyi umu, and I say me yenyi umu. Umu the recommendation about Chief Justice on to me amend the recommendation. They say obe send the akoma President. Okay, now say President Ninya, okay, I say the President shall, in each case, under 146.9, act in accordance with the recommendation of the committee.
Okay. And what the battery more between say
President no committee no your TV na committee ni nhwehwe mu wie no the command Chief Justice wia na Chief Justice the command president committee no asemo mu kan say president nya no eno na obeye
onu hu kwan say
the committee ne kan say yiwoma president ni hu kwan say onyi
obeja no ho
committee no e kan say menyi wo mu because yehwe mu wie no
agina so obi ani wo mu so mo kan
president ontimi enya ho hwe sa enetie enti media me fi say electoral commission umadwuma look we can have all our difficulties but umadwuma ya na abo ama area mama or winning all this margin of vote for the ability president am when overwhelming majority enti say no crop for office and we say no so o hwe say the city and I won't blame the president ko ba mrem also for the CJ and the be obey it you could do CJ why CJ no say o make his determination the CJ determination say encouragement near encouragement na recommendation is yenyi woman president will not have anything to do about it but if the CJ feels that it doesn't meet the threshold to set up a committee and that's where it will end.
Right, and to be about 20 lines about anti-LGBTQ plus bill. A necessary say your man be law, Emra.
Well, me feel say Ghana a one bill by the time I call Parliament, you know, the support of every member of Parliament. Every member of Parliament bill. In fact, it is the first time a private member had brought a bill which is so popular. Not that we haven't had any private members, but a very popular law from a private member, or bill from a private member. And Ghana for say, "Sa adia no adia yempe." Me constituency say, "Yeah, ekobase yentoaba." I was adia no so. Na me can say me support to me kwa yentoaba me bi because me tie me microphone. Almost say adia na adia omompe. And this ye the emra prevent this idea and idea umbe support and you see no samra no in fact we mu kra na I am ready but we will have to send it back to the presidency.
And what I come about say Mampai John Dramani Mahama say I spy
there be
under the 8th parliament and yes 9th parliament no some pushy answer na ban ho as wait me asenti to what me asenti to.
Matter of fact, my chest cry with that look. I dare know. We are our parliament is awaiting transmission. The presidency is a continuum. Presidency and the parliament every year. I doubt I hear translate, but going to from what I was told, no, I spy. Now I spy how much does it take to reactivate it? I idea year parliament, you know who we can. It's young family. So was say you be a no so support no kind or no shall say assemblies of God ni so far only the on him say a the boninti yen hwe na ye man na ado nsan e kodi court by the time anado court ndi asem wie no na ne mre afrio court no ka say e betimi am president asan I ready I call presidency.
Excuse me,
Me
feel the issue of Ensamra Parliament and sign for no dear.
Idea, I'm say, idea of say, or did you free idea on what bohun the rule. And look, when who's a Catholic Bishop Conference of my issue statement, Ghanaians should begin to hold us accountable because as we politicians, you can't somehow say to me. So for Ira Mahama, my name is the ministers will me, but who say, a small country Ghana for to obey 60 ministers. No? Ghana for trains every 60. So he's working to ensure that again, who answer now every hour campaign, what can I say? Say Billy Bella, a better or Kunya Swa, Obesign, a better Odexua Obesign. Ye sign. Uncle Funny idea, she said, idea so sign.
But I say, inculcating family values who is school sumo, and you're the best.
Oh, there's no family values in there. Still, that's what. And so, bonnet, a coso. Family values, and so, Yamra, Yaditia, Monato, say, we have laws against rape, and I'm and say, inculcating family values in a way in here. Thank you, Yamra, Yade, a punishes our name, I say. So I don't think that inculcating family values is enough. And morality or say a better na fear I serve as deterrent. I'm be a better democracy or best idea no. I think say idea about I can't see about home by these values. Media me say morality if you say I come for the life of me, imagine how a Bema so person why Bema. No bapper so and when I acquire Coca America, Yahi and family ama na a beshare con ama the law is a very good law and the president must sign it.
Name pesa Yebeka Sam, but once what's a vetting committee is so paying, it will be prudent now, say maybe South question, you know, with all respect. Yamamuska.
That's very interesting. I mean, you're more busy kind of me, fish for flabber could turn to minimum dear coso. And you be a side here. But I think, CBB says, dear, I'll see if you me. Media, your minimum creating a cotton or so. Be a sika. I was on it on the first 3 committees. I can cry me coso. Menya sika biasa but say parliament can say just can send their veto be that is bribery but that's a very serious allegation to make and see nipa no make his allegation and I'm told say or they are on the social media platform say he's happy to appear before the committee.
Yeah,
so it looks like yes it looks like here nipa no cancer no or evidence. So, so I'll be very happy to see, say, or be provided the evidence. BBC. Look, Parliament as an institution, this is a very important test for us. Say, be for Parliament any form. Now, so Bonibi sounds of course, you share SCC. Look, say BBC, of course, I just say about it so because. Committee no nipa 11 7 of them NDC for is about of course also no crop for na di dream pa na NPP for so almost a dream Almost say, man, is a Nipan can qualify crowd. Yeah, Momo Abaye ministers. It's a very serious matter, and in fact, even affects all the ministers. They are very true because you know which minister paid what. Is it just said minister be a triasika, and as a minister about community any tria. This is a very serious matter. Na so beti me about a substantiate. I be bueni na ama yet to pray and naked as a free politics.
But what you try king kind dear what Troy
no, media matter said there or say parliament omo Jessica I don't matter me who ne idea the I think it was a subject of should I call litigation or appointment committee but we are sitting and the chair is parliament requires suspended parliament kakra as a result of that. But I think that the long and short is I would say parliament appointment committee ajiska. But if you have it and you want to read it, I'm happy to listen to it.
Right, making come out to see about the entry be about 20 lines, Now, if you in terms of our question, a controversial kakra. Until now, we should cross a committee, Freno. Okay, why? Anyway. Okay. Well, see, my making come on. Now, we are lawyer, probably be a bit me. Was this so all the nominees?
All the nominees.
Yes. Sorry. Was it so all the monies the ministerial appointees are being asked to pay to the appointments committee just to get approved? Are those ones not affected by URA?
Okay.
And your customer Jiska?
Well, was it all the monies?
So all the monies the ministerial appointees are being asked to pay.
But asked by who? Being asked by who?
Question mark.
And then you say for approval, and in fact, we share approval no crowd. It's not only the appointment committee. Approval no, it comes to the plenary, it comes to the floor.
By council, how more appointment committee needing say omona ejiskano. So all the monies the ministerial appointees are being asked to pay to the appointments committee. That means that appointment committee no so mujijiska.
They are being asked to pay to their So who, as I said to you, a back corruption, the payer and the receiver, they are all culpable. It will be the symmetry, and that's also appointment committee. So yeah, as I say, mummy ni na mo bokro no. So as I say, that was already what shown there, and I think the objective is clear. So I say appointment committee, Jiska, whether say Ubina car say first kind of bra. And I say one I requested, yeah. And I say nominees na no more debate, and as we've been asking nominees from what is saying, say appointment committee no Ajisika.
Questions be rohe say bisano.
Appointment committee no Ajisika, and no they approve nominees.
No.
Yes, appointment committee Ajisika. Like I said, maybe appointment.
Legal interpretation, and I say,
but this doesn't really need an interpretation. The words are clear. It's only when there is ambiguity that you resort to canons of interpretation. The words are clear. But say all the monies the nominees are being asked to pay to the appointment committee for approval are they also subject to ORA. So in effect, appointment committee Jessica and no approval. And
that means all evidence be
yes, and yes. And you want famra.
And I'm saying, when you scabia, or trans, when you scabia. But I necessarily say be invited.
I think so. See, we need to protect the dignity and sanctity of Parliament. And the Speaker says something. And I think yes, I said, but see, without Parliament, there's no democracy. Without Parliament, there's no democracy. Is a democracy in the Kuya? I would say a respected Parliament, and I'm sure say well who dear is see maybe also so I mean, what kind of disrespect is that? Mammy, I point to say
MFA.
Yes, MFA custom. Say Koya Petroleum Commission head. Now we who say, which means say, my many more dear, and would be and so ever side Parliament. So, then if you say, Kaja, you beat me, did not beat me, the minister. And the time my Kaja minister, the minister stand for the executive, the judge stand for the judiciary. Now, parliamentarians in Kwana, there be a dear. Meanwhile, 3 arms of government, no, they are all equal, they are all very important, and they all play very crucial roles in ensuring say baby EPC drew. That's the members of parliament and him form until be a no account the members of parliament. Media, if there's an evidence of corruption, by all means go for it, go investigate it. See, like I said, judges say BJ Amponchini we investigated. And it would office say parliament so appointment committee no please come and provide your evidence. Now we move no. But just say the speaker won't be happy and they will be held accountable.
But more quarter so I am mom Susi Kabia so near.
Me ma quarter so I mean capre cra. Committee who call committee is part of our jobs. Into your mouth. Well, maybe I have to ask me when your allowance be now say allowance because it will be paid to you by parliament, not Nipana or Bama or veteran. That's why you made the man. But I can say me tiwe me name say committee be our committee no a TSC come out and the appointment committee I've been on it a couple of times. You appoint my GJSK Emma.
No, so before or Beba so one through Musoda.
Well, not that I know of. Not that I know of. So be no friend and media, but maybe you'll be unfriended. You'll be unfriended. And I don't even think say it's even right. Say over vetting now of over fair from vetting. Why do you want to do that?
Right. Maybe see ya. Mami activate lines on 057771073. Oliver Voma atro bibia to the page say omo a ya mampani abo mudi omo ko vetting no so no ya catch omo say ti wanka say appointments committee no o see ya catch omo so muntue sika emfama appointment committee no and come on and I watch na omo invite no say wo mra na fi on fa evidence mra. Hello, good evening. Lawyer waha enti question bi a person obi san bi abetima bisa no. Good evening. Me ba chodin ba bi ate en kafri. Nana me pa chomiti o lawyer waha.
Me tia lawyers. Ene di adia of NDP. Ene Ghana man. Ya de bro ene na e ka say no brother in Lagos. NDC for nipa bi a appointment committee on strict aya no mo ye na ebi ni Atumpan 107.3 na ya no mo a o ni no mo de start e dey abi we ram lawyer mo ma mo ni na ho NDC for dem no mo ya dey am nya very careful
Right, hello, good evening. Yantunkayi, hello, good evening.
Hello.
Maybe I told you about your cafe.
But I make a free new town in front of Kwame.
Maybe I told me NTO, Honorable John Dakowa.
Honorable Samu Kakra, if I Nipa Omode Mranche Musamuko Obuafe and accident UAP no things are and issue no Nipa no more go ahead I no think radio station so or more go ahead so muko no more by now no muko just you know or no send Nipa anything it doesn't become honorable no.
May I see you are no hello, good evening. Maybe I told you about be out here in cafe. In Na ye na radio setting ko for mudin ba bi ate nka free.
Brucha film this year.
There's a kronkron akafia.
Me ba jori ni orubo ni o.
Aja maminti o.
Me ba che me mo fi shafa o.
Fe nko mesa ho ahoden ne nkwam.
Ami mpa che me chia lawyer so. Me ba che wo we dia me hedan ni azimisa bia ma lawyer me mo ma me nso ma tum chia wa so. Let's commission. Me dia yin ni no NDC for say ngonum dia ama ma fa. Anka se wo ne beti wo my Ghana mu. Let's commission yo what bin ngonum bin si da. Let's commission. Papa Mahama, and you're in here. Okay, the petrol over Kesso, and then hearing Kesso, in Levy, okay, over years through, Papa, you through, okay, I said to gay, over years through, Papa, you through, and yet complain, you hear Sabre you. What I could for the 2 5 Tom and Panidia, or buy any treatment, any Boston and auction years, what you pay a call 5 times, and only Ghana, one we are saying, and that's all for you, and I was school, I thought you had any. Oh, God of mine, we ain't can hear draw some and I'm ready, Patro Yasso. Patro Yasso, now my Ghana for. Only I mean, bye bye.
Hello, good evening.
Good evening, bro. And how to say?
I don't any ahiye ebeni.
Unimunia, Medate. Mepesa me malo ni ho afese. Se ni anso ye no, saa na ewia be. Yet your mind Ghana. And now, shall ethical campaign winner 2016 December 7th election. With over 900,000 votes, 900,000 votes. Now, so, almost shall I say, and you're on the path. Almost faithless people. And then I was a nobody. Sadly, Jamaman twins not the Bian can say about it. Often is a charges. On my yes, the bill will expire with the 8th Parliament. No, right was a private member. Problem making sure that on any attorney general that I have government sponsored bill. Jamaman can then answer himself. We in the NDC, we have better true.
Right, where I say hello, good evening. Good evening, did you be at Cafe?
Yeah, but I'm not today.
Now, media family and elsewhere.
Yeah, I don't. I read the Komoya Diana. I've got the Vomaway. Although in the Mesoba Trabuana, and now I'm maybe on them Kophobia, Cabo, almost Tiomo, Chantogo land for you. No.
Wait, you.
Sabrantiyada as police forecast you are Okotuki.
Meet you
or yet been a young bono tapping in Ghana. Sabrantiyada or yet been a new abono tapping in Ghana. You're yet police for Abraham yet demonstration. So go to police car. Say you will be a gun and he be uncle yet the local 12 years. But on the number it will feel so to me as much on Nabu. This one committee of friend of parliament. Young share na young father fambra kwanso na asem na okan no baby what the evidence no o mekere na ona bo de mamo share ya de kakra wo ka se no ka se mo ko system kra allowance bia de wa boje e ho no mesre so obetwa system bia mo be ko outside parliament no e na allowance ni ada vetting committee na so ko so a ye mamo allowance bia at least Ghana for ye na clear kakra.
Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Good evening.
Daniel Medina.
Daniel, me patcho mitio.
Yo, you know NDC for me patcho. I want to know why. I did here. Yakoji way. They said they also yogurt to Brani idea. Yabayam Bani idea yogurt to reference. Hey. I'm a Benny Mahama. I got to yogurt to the mommy.
How about you yogurt?
Papa, you are causing a young somewhere at that moment. What about the Secret near Yabru, Yakoji Bano, and Yabayamba, Yaji, Ajosa, Yaji, Nazi, Yaji. Hey! Oh my Ghana, I said about the Edruni. Papa Mahama, Wabado. Not then I'm young, your mamma Borosa. Yes, some of your mamma cool. Only talking with the entrance. Imagine, also. Found Yajima. Now, I bet the Majima for so behind so. Yeah, Papa Captain Smart.
Ono na shasi ya yesa ni me nyina o. Mongwaji we, jadi ni ma we jare. Mongwaji ka se smart. Ono na amma ngofo kutu pa mama yesa ni me nyina. No anka je ngodru. Amma sumun together. Bye bye.
Oh, ya jini yogurt. Hello, good evening.
Nyame asom je nka.
Enka oba odin ba bi ate enka free.
Medin the spin of the airways no ashama.
Oba mi ti o.
Me na bema. I always say Ghana obia ni mo Ghana ha say bill I the parliament pass here. E court. O man pinina kasa ma former president my say the court prove or best fine. But me time one fine son or the free power. Then she no want to me and say gay as a way no want to me and sign. Then she no ma pinina dance to me and say and na mo push say chichina ma sign. Or best fine but this so yes shemu and son was fine. And before we had the DCI.
Mera say hello, good evening.
Good evening, go ahead.
Me ba chodri ba bi ate enka free. Autopus mami ti o.
Aha. Ma no ba ka fa no. Ma mo be sign. Episode ya campaign. Into be sign. One sign that is ma ha mo ye trofo on kan correct. And o dia be dia de. Ni ato su bi o. Owura na aba na ate no. MP no aka sanya yeti. Me mi say e mahia me time. Me mi MP. Na say okuje to bra kwa so oba wi fia ba hwem me bie mi nkram ya na wi no. Oh yes. Me bie mi nkram ya wi no. Obi be si fie bia ba ma nkram ya wi no. Me da.
Asaasepa also kasa muti unconstitutional. Me ni mama mfa kakra bi nka wona fe yinya no. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Me ba chodri ba bi ate enka free.
Mpacho me kasa fra bo so ka from me bright.
Me ba cheti o lawyer ha.
So you have a call there.
Ya me dia chen.
Yeah, da nya mi asi, yeah da lawyer so asi. Enti me bisa lawyer say she omampeni to me kitano. Na odi aseti committee say yen fighting corruption and I say yen hwehwe omo fuya Ghana japade a o si ma e fresh anipa na nipa ne ba fie o a yema mumpi Asaasepa because to me na SLC John Dramani mama wo na waponi bi e dia ma committee no so omunye hwehwemu uchi de bi omo ye from a ye fro bi ama obi nko ana say ye ko bi fie a omo mfre kama na kama enkasa nkrofo na ya depa
okay obi ya no. Hello, good evening.
Fine evening.
Me ba chodri ba bi ate enka free.
John Kwasini from Tema alias Aputo.
Do mi ti o.
Nyame sama na jima pa mo ye pa. Master say ora we no president mama o seti yen. Say we e be ma na ye ba fi onu ma. Ka se mo nko. We e be ma na ye ba onu ma. Ka se mo ko ye wo fi wo Ghana ha na ye di ma focus. And then we ye fi. Any the tumutumu after president mama be sign. But I don't see that. We never say politicians.
Hello, good evening. Me ba chodri ba bi ate enka free interesting. Oh, sign, will be sign. Hello, good evening.
Hello.
Me ba cho oba.
Me nyoba.
Me ba chodin.
Nkofo pete esan anwegu gerim. Na wo bia ba be fre wa ba di da san fre aka tire wo se o si go ti aje no ti en. No, don't let them bring you. We know.
Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Me ba chodri ba bi ate enka free.
I am from Benjamin, Katapitema from 67.
Benjamin until.
Yeah, can I say? Mr. So, Mr. Visa Honorable say. Obi Bana say, if you are saying Boma was the Doma Wayi. Oba Yankina song. Santa Ya China song. And for this me, yes, was the black doctor ever Casasia members of parliament. Oba and then you can be judged. But yeah, you're not a China song. And for being to me, I'm there, sir. And after so, and this is what I'm walking and I'm one sign call that sign. Let the devil put the song one sign.
Mera Benji, hello.
Narani.
There's a crow. Major, so. About you.
Mr. Gomao, a seminar. This is not the first time. Why ye be a no ye and then as a nation ye no. Everything I'm on your fine ekika sansen. It is our second one way away no. Except parliamentarians no holding no responsibility. Now over the I said now I'm a DB side coswa obi should the strange answer. Ye toss me no bro hene asem we hu hia me. I'm after my constraints. Ye coswa ho no time. Check go TV. Ah yeah. Sika we say our chama ho. Chama so akota kuchire. Nia coordinator so say enini ho. Coordinator say chama. Chama is so abroche. Enti san yo ma na ekoso amasa my constituency no. And penny form 90 form. And sana everything truly. It's
May I say one noted. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Me pacho we didn't be at and free.
And the door of them by command. President Bama, oh, we never do it for you. I make my mouth off it. I used to minimum NDC and the buyer police. Police car is in for the question. Police car.
NDC no your police, no the police car.
The buyer police in NDC. Our police car 2018. Car runners, maybe nobody. Somebody could the cat now, and who did it about the oil number. Each channel. It's one more direction.
I say, hello, good evening. Oh, didn't be at and cafe. Be too bad, Munya Clay. Hello, good evening.
Hello, good evening.
Maybe I told you be at and cafe.
Maybe
I told me and you.
But your sir, Oliver Bakavama were now Muchabono. Almost spend Kakra, although I am supported. By the way, I all Catano. On one out, Nabana, the party of power. Now, chair no sooner, or yes, our party now power now. If you build in the Oka, into a channel show another car, Munjan, no, they be troubled on because why you be that fine, but the Oka may be only evidence and conquer. Individual may be a cost. Secondly, so Siciano MPP for Siciano opening 8 years tra Omuntumiani Siciano Yejano. I say appointment then the go for the year. You see, Sano man they break your heart no. Once you 20 years cry, movie you going to trouble and cry. It is annoying.
Samba Nyabutre. Samba Nyabutre. Last caller, hello, good evening.
Listen back my match, I did have a massage view.
I meet you.
Minia, ya me met me a catch MPP from Penny for the say. Sir, the Bia ni a quote. Na MP edit for baby Bia, and Yavi, no. And say, I told me that I did it all. MPP to winning a sa or Matato. First, I know Matato no. Or Moon Trent to baby, and I'm cotton to baby. Say, I may have done near Babemua. Or my Bia because. So yeah, no. MPP from Penny for me, because you didn't make a quote in Ekati. It will be made to first man or pet. They ain't been up a while near the crock. I'm not trying to that, you know. Yami, I don't know about Berma. Yes, be prepared. Woman will say, Claudia no way and another papa, na power way, and Trapa and Tenable a party back. Power to be changed at any time.
May I say, may I say, Colas, no, Modos Yenti meaning in a Mumfan chain, and lawyer were bre, Ghana who do, Swami who do, MPP who don't hear what that's what tear could you. Now, quickly, I have a few questions among for beside.
Okay, let me try and address all of them. Except for Moti, Medamasi, and so be a friend watching a journey, son, a digital of my. Yedi and yes, a friend can be. Let me remain can be. And can't urge me near far above near the assessor man. Until more, Macassin, Madame Massil, be afraid, be a. Now, and 7 may the base may be me, and I may some balance. The not a decaya, say, any chat to a person may address in the first. A year, Upunini said, we are going to go a case, call about what I said 8 years MPP for H and NDC for a Bejaum. I can't the enemy can say the idea of constitutionalism. No, say a Merano Maho said, local cost that's a decision be ba appeal. In fact, there are interim decisions as a rulings about when to bet me appeal. I know that area opuni and this with a gungo or more fire and Rama Hoka so no more appeal rulings is and because a delay case na yen to me and now at the general be so case be a tear on mine or who to me Mraman Hoka and said which because
say don't interest
on or be prosecuted and you know camera sad but it's part of the loss and see on who say a mile quite a might me do mukoko so quite and almost so far marginal can say
so I back quickly and he said a bind sister assume it's 2028 MPP a bind no cast up so continue age no be no who kwan so be continue
now so it depend generally obi a you decide in a matter say if the matter is decided I want me and try and be
okay
but states no enter null prosecuted if any null prosecuted may have seen this news item say the AG has discontinued the case. I don't know what it really entailed, but if the AG enters null prosecuted that's also when your interest is being it doesn't determine the case. The people can be rearrested and be charged. But when the case is determined, that's the court makes a definite decision, and you cannot, by law, somebody may not be allowed to suffer prosecution twice.
Okay.
Until once that is done, then you cannot prosecute them again. But you have to look at what really happened. If you just null prosecute, and as Attorney General, you can actually normally what do you do? The enter null prosecute and can rearrest you just to.
Right after courtroom.
Yes,
right.
Okay,
So
that can happen. Nipa baako nso ɛna ɔpɛsɛ ohun sɛ wɔsɛ nipa a wɔn ba Parliament Privileges Committee no wɔn ba yɛnyɛ wɔn hwɛ ɛna ɔsaete Black Rasta nyɛ sɛ anyɛ no hwɛ may follow saa procedure ɔpakyɛw ɛna Parliament efi sɛ wɔ nipa na pakyɛw deɛ yɛmfa.
Sɛ na fɔma wɔ so bɛba abɛpakyɛw.
Well, menim sɛ ɛkyerɛ ɛbɛhwɛ deɛ ɔbɛba abɛka. In fact, wei na ɛnyɛ Privileges Committee ɛna ɔba appointment committee no ɛna ɔma frɛ no sɛ ɔmmra na ɔmɛkyerɛ kwan korɔ fa so ɔnya saa information ɛne the veracity of it. So the balance appointment committee fi sɛ ɛnyɛ adeɛ a wɔgu committee no fi a wɔn bɛtumi ɛde you know under our order 30, 31, 32, 33, 34 bɛtumi akɔ speaker hɔ na yɛ asking no sɛ appear before Privileges Committee. And under Privileges Committee and you bet me a site now for contempt no obet me a jail for that. And they say in fact they see a rabbi who did another prayer team say it came on the floor. Speaker invited rabbi. You just set up committees, you know. A public committee inquiry set to take care of the president's nominees. And we don't even have a Privileges Committee yet. But Speaker who say serious enough say we're invited I'm sorry no say by Thursday we're doing a ruling on the issue about I believe that Parliament must bite. We are there for the people, people's representatives. And you be and I say what day okay. Bi wɔ hɔ a nipa bɛpakyɛw a na wɔagya amanaka but obi ɔnyɛ n'adwe sɛ ɔbɛpakyɛw na ɔpɛ sɛ ogu Parliament ho fi ne deɛ ɔsɛ ɛmammerɛ no ɛyɛ adwuma now obi ka sɛ president ate committee sɛ ɛnyɛ wura na mɛmɛ sɛ mɛmɔ mo mmaa na wɔn ba akraman nwura mu ɛnyɛ saa na mɛka in fact deɛ mɛka nyinaa ne sɛ ɛnɛ yi ɛna president ɔsɛ te sɛ saa committee no apa nka I don't have a problem. The American say a bread to about man 7 December.
Yes, so in
up to 7 December up to 7 January. And swing no ordinary citizen like you and I. No need to me our take committee. Say you encourage a man for sim.
Okay.
And the sound America say Oba be fear ma umfi no mumino. Na mankasi will be a me and crama enquiry will be a MC call about and I can say I didn't say that. In fact, me to me cry and cancer so people before Oman Kramangana. What I'm saying is that don't cooperate with them. If you say a bra area or set is our committee na
Onisa 2 minutes of the committee.
Then there was another one who was allowances na year cano. We was a vetting committee any entry allowance and as all the other committees. And I must always say this. I am a first timer. In core committee meeting be a first. It means my name is a committee a Triesica. Name of them because the permanent committee matters so far no.
Yeah, mammy.
Okay. It will be a mammy. So I can say without any fear of contradiction, in Triesica and Maubia. And then Obi can say Obuase issue no and journalist needs me. Well, I think that is wrong enough. Say Obi be a share Obi say unquire bonnet. No, I'm saying that. Oh, so if you incite people to engage in unlawful activity like that, you can be charged. You know. Now the truth is that if it goes to court, you need to be able to say that his utterance directly accounted for this. If you're able to make that connection, yeah, he can be dealt with. I did see what was needed. I the bonnet media. I near semi and politicizing, but no crew woman so say, you know, no ma umuko hokoyes idea. They were motivated by the promises from the NDC. You know, NDC for answer never trouble. Some of them are catch room. A winning election now more call. Woman organizer, she's on tape. Say or catch room, sir. Say umuko ya asemisi ya me ni NDC for winning alcohol. I say umunya abuti na uma buy na aba.
Seeking justice for them.
Which means the NDC for and acquire side. You know, idea and try to say say you share na your correct is an marina as a country.
Thank you very much for your time this evening. Lawyer John Dako Yeswami Mrasubijani, and I wish to say wow obeba nafi yedidin komo kakra.
Definitely
Parliament kakra fi kakra Swami kakra
as much as possible. Your Juma so back when say bet church near mamu ama for and your man for United. I say it's a brano be an more frame your kwama by banning common church, maybe I said them right enough for their moment.
Medase,
Miss Medas, make share tea for you now. I mean, you know, more commercial muti and can have for you now. Because we're Mompire, man. I mean, say, Yaminti, a bay man come, Yamamu sensi from MPP4. Let's work hard, let's be hopeful. Your partner and say, sir, I never can crave it or say a chinchim near year 2028. You beat me a veggie man, I in the year will be
my main first, ma obadi etwedi amponyankopon honorable lawyer John Dako Swami Mrasubijani Medase, executive producers Nana Otujando, Emmanuel Heme, technical man on duty Emmanuel Jako Medase, midin de bono hene bafo wa and I watch na besi enhia nyame nka ho ntre nim kyerɛ. God bless you.